Greetings, and good evening. Welcome back to our Fate in Space campaign. Allow me to rejoin all the familiars back in Discord before we head to this absolutely wonderful planet cluster, something we slightly forgot to do last time around. 3 of you? Question mark? Yes. Aldris, Nara, and Ryder. Each of you have damage that needs to be healed, or at least needs to begin its healing. We can start with Aldris and your sundered armor. I feel like Nara has the crafting skills to fix this.
I can fix anything.
She really can. So craft, or whatever your most appropriate mech fixing skill is. Alright, I will say, because this mechanic is a little weird, in general, I mentioned last time, if you assist somebody without setting up an action or doing anything, you just give them a flat +1. Since Aldris is very keen on mechs, we'll say, that should be from a 3 to a 4, Nara. So while it's not fixed, we'll call it mended armor, and it will be fixed soon.
Sweet. I'll get my solder.
Alright, and then on that note, tit for tat, Nara, your mech has dented armor. Aldris, if you would like to assist, we just need to beat a 2.
No, I don't help people.
Put a little suction cup on it, like in the TikTok videos.
Just get a plunger.
Perfect.
I'm blind. There it is.
Okay, there it is. We'll rename it from that to less dented armor. Alright, and the same applies for Ryder. If either of you wish to help with your craft skill, he has a bullet ding.
Oh no.
Can we both help?
You can, but it's not really necessary. It's
or
just
is
a
that
2.
too many mechanics in the kitchen?
Maybe a little bit of that, but
There's never too many mechanics in the kitchen.
you just need a 2.
Join forces, perhaps?
You very much
Make
can.
it look really cool.
Yeah, we can do the same thing that you effectively did, where one of you rolls, the other person gives a +1 to the feat.
I'll give the +1.
You okay?
No,
So,
yes.
Oh,
I'll
yes?
do the +1.
Okay.
Yeah,
Aldris,
sorry.
you're leading this operation. Go ahead and roll me crafts again.
Huh.
It'll go from bullet ding to bullet dang.
Oh no.
Bullet ding dang.
With a small b. Alrighty, these will be repaired soon, we will say. The level 2 ones will say this. Georgiana, your dull migraine. And the 2 level 2s will go away basically after this session once we hit a good pause point. And then the 4 tier that's on Aldris, the mended armor, will probably go away in 2 to 3, depending on basically how much we accomplish. Alright, with everyone's stress cleared, fate points filled, and armor mending, we push forward. As you guys approach, the Kabuto will share with the 4 of you some information, and then you will see your quarry. First, on the way there, we'll say that she addresses you individually. And first up is Georgiana. While you are piloting the Kabuto to this destination, we know that we are no longer being followed. As I mentioned before, you guys did your wonderful light fold and just kind of whoop, and it tried to follow, but you wiggled him off, we'll basically say, Georgiana, which, if anyone was in that, they'd be dead. So this is something. It's either remote controlled, automated, we're not entirely sure. As maybe you're checking out your new the new bobblehead that's sitting in the cup holder.
It's not a bobblehead. It's a little friend.
It is a friend. He could grow a small little bobbly head if he wished.
Do you mean like...
He's a little goo boy, so if he wanted to, he could technically grow a head.
I was definitely imagining like Audrey too, without the murderous intent.
Oh my god.
A little goo boy.
But I don't think I want that.
I was thinking like an Audrey type situation, but that's like so common that I'm like, yeah, let's do something slightly different.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I do love me some Audrey too, I will say.
It's a little preferable to be a little more interesting now.
That extended ending is ridiculous, my god. It's like 5 minutes of them just destroying buildings. It's insane.
Beautiful.
As you do.
It's honestly really funny. Anyway, cutting back to you, Gigi, as you're staring into the cold vacuum of space. The Kabuto addresses you and says, Georgiana?
Yes, Kabuto?
I would like to commend you on your piloting.
Thanks.
I might have been quick to conclusions in our last altercation with the enemy.
What do you mean?
Judging by your various readouts, I do believe I did not phrase my questions appropriately. Let me be more clear, Georgiana. Had anyone else been at the helm, we surely would have perished.
Ah, well, I am the best.
And you can just hear just like a doot, 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 doot. Of course. And then that's essentially all she has for you. And Nara, during this time, moving to our next destination, I did mention to you, you attempted to hack into this being, whatever it may be, and you were just basically with information.
Yeah.
It just puked info at you. We can say while you were going through this info, Nara, the Kabuto is basically using one of its systems to kind of help you sort out the information. It's literally just garbage, and it's completely out of order. It's not as bad as the tablet you guys have. That it almost seems, while intentionally vague, there's at least information there. This is mostly just ones and zeros and just garbage, like actual garbage. There's no real information here. So she's helping you sort it out faster so you can look at the actual information, Nara, and get the goods, if you will. One of the major things you learned while trying to, hack into it is it has multiple layers of encryption.
Tastiest code I ever seen.
Quite. Or disgusting. It really depends on your perception, I guess.
I mean, I can respect dozens of layers of encryption.
True.
Not that I've ever needed that for any reason. Or
Of course.
Absolutely not yet.
Definitely not. And as you're looking through all this, the Kabuto then addresses you.
Nara, how is the data looking?
It is looking.
I'm
it
hoping
is
I was able
definitely
to.
data, and you were very helpful.
Thank you. Hopefully, I can sort through this quicker next time. I am aware of my shortcomings, but we will all try our best, yes?
Yes. If you had hands, I would give you a high five.
As you say that, a little hatch on the side of the wall just kind of opens up and this little robo hand comes out.
I give it a high five.
It just kind of boop, and then just and pull back into the wall.
Let's say the plant's with me.
Okay.
And I lean over to the plant and I'm like, that wasn't one of my mods.
Mine just kind of jiggles. It's not sure how to respond, so just
Speaking of that, is this normal for Kabuto?
is what normal.
It does seem especially friendly.
Yeah,
Especially talkative.
It seems extra self-aware.
It does. I was just thinking that. It seems like it's is it gaining sentience?
Oh no.
Is there any way to see if maybe the Kabuto looking into the data might have been infected with something? Not like infected in a bad way, just
Yeah. I will say it is definitely a coincidence, but from what you can tell, Nar, maybe looking at the Kabuto's code, which is quite confusing, bringing in the power source like you did instantly made it more confusing.
right. I mean, I love a challenge.
Of course. But there's definitely something else here. You're not sure if it was given time to meld closer to whatever this hyperdrive is, or the fact that you guys just got like a super payday, therefore you can afford to feed it, if you will. More so than usual. Maybe you got that like primo shit. But that
Primo shit.
Yeah, that on top of all the information you've been sharing with the Kabuto is definitely giving it more, we'll say, to work with.
He's learning.
I'm like, I squint a little bit and then I shrug. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm down with that. We love sentience.
It's not nefarious from what you can tell. And then
No, I mean, I don't feel like it's nefarious. I just was wondering if there were any outside forces that may have caused this. Because, what are the Kabuto's pronouns?
realistically,
Do we refer to them as they, them?
could be. I've been using a female voice, so
we
she
called her
works.
she.
Yeah, she works. I've been using a female voice, so
I asked the Kabuto what their preferred pronouns are.
I would say
Seems good.
she, her, they, them is perfectly acceptable. Just because,
Okay, well,
not he though. No he.
Not he.
No he. Definitely not.
Boats and ships are usually girls.
Yeah.
I
Usually.
respect that. That's for a good reason too. Because women are superior. Just kidding. She does seem very friendly, so I'm not gonna, it's fine. I'm down with it. I love the little high five I got. You know, I'm down. We're good. I am going to kind of keep an eye out, though.
Of course, of course.
I never sleep with both eyes closed.
One thing you do notice while going through this information, as I mentioned, we'll say Aldris and Nar, you guys are kind of both like duoing this because there's just so much garbage to look through, and maybe being knocked out for most of the fight. You guys don't normally have to evacuate, and as you mentioned, this was not your target. This was something else that just chose to attack you guys, which has indeed happened before, but not to this degree.
So we weren't expecting to see this machine, right?
Correct.
And it's like super duper advanced for what we thought was not the situation that it required, or?
Correct.
Okay.
It seemed a little too perfect, disturbingly so. And the Kabuto wasn't able to get enough information at the time, but now that you've pieced out basically and had time to look through the information that you have, Aldris and Nar, the two of you, are basically able to put together multiple things. Ryder, you saw this up close and personal, but this thing, whatever it is, it adapts quickly, very, very, very quickly. It both adapts to things you do to it, things you do to the area. Whatever you do, it tries to adapt to basically make sure it has the advantage no matter what. Something else, obviously you realize, Ryder, you are a very competent pilot. This thing hit really hard, though. Harder than the chainsaw guy, harder than most things you've physically gone up against. And for its speed, that is somewhat disturbing. As I mentioned, your hacking wasn't all that effective, unfortunately, but that's not lack of skill, it's lack of understanding. More, I won't say unfair, because, well, it's not supposed to be fair, but you weren't given the ample time.
You live and you learn.
Exactly. But the Kabuto does remind all of you over the intercoms.
The information we were able to ascertain from this enemy is unfortunately limited. Fortunately for our party, though, we do happen to have something that could potentially contain said information.
That
plan?
pad?
The datapad.
Oh man, I was so ready to talk about the plan again.
Maybe the plan, who knows? Probably not.
I think they're really cool. They've got to get a name at some point. I don't know
Definitely.
what yet.
If you want a really cool picture for them, how you imagine them, I imagine them as a little little gooman with like little chubby legs, little pudgy thing with a white
Gooman?
flower. Yeah. Basically
Human,
an ooze.
not human.
Yeah, basically. Basically an ooze with a white flower on top that can sit in this really, really rich soil or not.
Whatever it decides.
Yeah, it hops out sometimes. It seems fine. It likes to return to the soil, and the soil doesn't seem to be drying up. So, good on you for grabbing some. But other than that, it seems to be pretty self-sustaining. You don't need to water the soil or anything.
Incredible. That planet is incredible.
Whoa.
Bless you. I can hear Georgiana straight through the ship walls. That's crazy.
Insane.
Blast me!
She left her mic on just to sneeze at you guys.
Sounds about
That's
right.
just rude.
Sorry.
Wait, I've already lost my train of thought. Where were we
Attention,
going
crew,
with that?
sneeze.
What were we talking about?
Yes, the data pad and it being less interesting than the goo.
Yeah. So, I mean, the data pad is still kind of. Is the Kabuto able to review stuff in the data pad while it's in the Faraday cage?
The Kabuto can definitely assist you with things of that nature. It's just obviously every time you ask, it sends out a boop, 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 to someone, to something.
Okay.
Obviously, in the Faraday cage, as we
We've
discussed, it will slow it down drastically.
We've already extracted some information from it, though, right?
Oh yeah, whole bunch.
I guess I'll sift through that.
The Kabuto did let you know that while you have escaped from the enemy for now, it forms some sort of echo track on you. Meaning it will eventually return, but you guys drop it off somewhere probably horribly inconvenient for it, so you have time.
Kabuto,
Yes, Nara?
could you please keep an eye on our friend, the mysterious machine?
Of course.
Is there any way that you can make scans for that? Particularly? Hypervigilance mode?
I was unable to set a tracker on it while it first engaged with us.
Okay.
Hopefully, I will be able to detect it before it strikes us next time.
All right. Sounds good. I hold my hand out for a fist bump.
It comes down from the ceiling this time and just kind of and then boop, and then retracts back into the ceiling.
Love this. Love this development.
Other than that, we're healed up, headed forward, and Georgiana, you see just ahead of you the planet with an S that I described last time. Essentially, what you guys see are 3 planets rotating around each other, around a point betwixt the 3 of them, if you will. And all 3 planets have 3 moons also around them. And you notice, after watching it for a moment from this distance and running some quick calculations, that they theoretically should never, ever, ever run into each other or bump into each other. Somehow they are holding firm.
You said we could see the target, right?
You do know that this is the target. This is the approximate location. Seeing this strange sight before you pretty much confirms this is most likely it. And a second confirmation is that of the 3 planets, one of them is fully mechanical. It looks like it's made of just jutting, jagged metal and just sticking out all sorts of directions. One is, I'd say, closer to Mars, but there is still some vegetation on it, some water, but it looks overall very dry, very desert-like. The other one looks unpleasant, we'll say. Habitable, probably. You can't tell from this distance.
Request Kabuto to do a scan to see if we can find the actual target. We're not looking for a planet, right?
You are allegedly looking for a combat mech. I believe it's height-wise, I think I said. It should be taller than you guys, so it's about 7, 8 feet tall. The owner just wants it dead, really. If you can capture it, great, but just kill it. Just get rid of it. It's a problem. It's called Ball 817. So BAAL-817.
All right, so yeah, let's have Kabuto do a scan for mechanical energies.
Instantly, it comes back just with a wash of mechanical nature. And you see that, of course, the entire planet is one mechanoid being. It has bits and parts moving. It is habitable, definitely. But it is pure from the core to the crust metal. There is no earth or dirt left on this planet. The other 2 have some mechanical components to them, but not as crazy as, oh, that's really cute. Are you kidding me right now?
Oh, no.
She decided to grace us with a wonderful little babushka boy, and I can't.
Oh, no. No. Absolutely not.
He's adorable.
I mean, so actually the one on top is kind of cute. The one on the bottom, it looks like it would stare at me at night while I'm trying to sleep. And I
I
do
mean,
my...
I feel like they both would.
Yeah, that's
They
what
kind of
plants
both do, but the one that has a little more leaves is a little more mischievous and not creepy.
Yeah, I agree. The one on the left could
Oh my
definitely...
god.
They're very cute, though.
The person that said, that's a cute little plant. No, it's not. It's not.
It's adorable. What do you mean?
That thing's going to stretch out beside me while I sleep and strangulate me.
But yeah, slightly derailed by this really cute thing that you found, Georgiana. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I always appreciate it. I got to show off the new mod, so I also derailed this just a wee bit.
That was a very cool mod, by the way. That's nice.
I know, right? It essentially comes back with, yeah, there's a lot of mech shit here, both on the primary planet that you can obviously see and the other 2. It's more interspersed, so this tracker alone will not assist you in finding it. Not 10, 20 seconds after you receive these results and you're kind of mulling them over, Georgiana, your sensors go off.
Georgiana, please ensure everyone is buckled up.
Why?
It seems we are under attack.
By who?
Unable to determine the who, but there are multiple bogeys coming our way. Also,
and you can feel the full control is returned to you, Georgiana. There's always like slight autopilot just because you can, be lazy and it'll just fly forward. You don't need to hold the controller straight. It just goes.
Yes.
You can indeed feel it fully return to you, though. And you hear...
It seems we are being pulled in by one of the 3 planets as well.
Everyone buckle up! Captain, do you want to visit one of these planets or what?
Does he have a choice, though?
Instantly, as you say that, you can tell, Georgiana, this is not gravity. You are being pulled by a something.
Oh, never mind.
And you're not being pulled...
We don't have a choice.
Yes, you do not have a choice. You are not being pulled by the metal planet. You're definitely being pulled. You can kind of check your trajectory. You're being pulled to one of the other 2.
Try to get us to the metal planet.
All right. I guess I'm going to need some pull boosters to get away from the pull.
Indeed. What we're going to do here is I'm going to have you roll pilot. If you roll a 4, I'll let you choose between the 2 planets. If you roll very high, you can land on any of the 3. If you roll under 4, I will randomly choose which one you land on.
Tough choice. I do like rolling pilot.
Oh no.
The game disagrees.
Did you just see all those negatives?
The lowest you can roll.
A 0.
We're off
That's
to a
so
great start
sad.
today.
I mean, for Aldris and me, it went pretty well. I don't know what you're talking about.
My planets are misaligned, I see.
No, they look great. What are you talking about?
Uh-huh.
Mercury's in retrograde. I'm just
Oh,
kidding. I don't
great.
know anything about that. Let me check to see what planet's in retrograde right now.
As you make this decision and begin to choose between the planets, you're attempting to land on the metal one, Georgiana. You can feel the Kabuto being pulled from all different directions, and you have no idea where you are going to land. On top of this unfortunate fact, you can feel that the enemy has opened fire on you all. You've already received the instruction that you might want to buckle down, and you're able to kind of fly between all these shots, Georgiana, as long as you...
Hang on. The enemy's in the space, right?
Yes, now that you can sort of see them, they are like sleek, black ships.
And nothing we've ever seen before?
They're not familiar now.
Oh, I just wanted to get in the gunner seats to shoot him.
Perfect. Aldris and Nara, what are you two doing?
I'm thinking, sorry.
That's all right. While you're thinking, is one of these planets pulling harder than the others?
It is currently difficult to tell, but now that you're getting somewhat closer, Georgiana, you can ascertain that the planet that is completely covered in clouds is definitely pulling the hardest.
Okay, so if the boosters are having no effect, I'm just gonna go for it. The planet that's pulling us to get away from the people who are shooting at us.
Sounds good. Aldris, what are you doing?
Panicking.
Get on the damn guns, Aldris!
Fine, I'll get all the guns.
Also, apparently, Mercury was recently just in retrograde for the first time in 2022. During this period
Stop.
of Mercury retrograde, it ended on February 3rd.
I was just Googling it!
What'd you type?
Well, I started reading the whole article about which planet is in retrograde throughout the entire year.
Oh, the whole
Is that what you typed?
No, I said
Okay,
what
good.
I typed what planet is in retrograde right now. So it said that it was January 14th to February 3rd Mercury is in retrograde. And then
Yeah, I
I
saw
was
a
like,
bunch
well,
of
what's in retrograde right now? And it's just I'm clearly not good at speed reading.
Maybe we're retrogradeless?
But that just feels wrong. My joke has to work.
Then we can go ahead and say Mercury. And if not Mercury, then Venus. Screw Venus.
Wow.
I don't
Hey,
screw Venus.
Venus is trying to screw us. It's in retrograde. You know what that means?
Love is for the weak.
Exactly.
In the game, what is the setup here?
The Kabuto is currently in retrograde. You are being dragged towards this planet. Georgiana is making the decision to say, you know what? Rather than fighting against it, I am going to fly into it. Aldris is panicking. Ryder has jumped on a gun. Nara, you are deciding, maybe seeing Aldris panic. Meek is running around him. And you guys are being fired upon. Georgiana's like, and just like weaving between them. These ships flying at you they look like black stones almost, with 2 spikes in front of them. If there is someone in them, they are very small.
Do they look like the same ship?
Their model might look a little old, if anything, which is definitely strange. They're incredibly sleek, though. And they are moving as one, sort of like a flock of birds.
Can I create an advantage for what's her name?
Georgiana?
Georgiana.
You forgot my name?
I'm a little stressed right now.
Don't worry, Gigi. I would never forget your name.
Who are you?
Thanks, Captain. Aldris,
Sorry,
you just
who's
stuck
that
on
guy?
something.
Huh?
Okay, so I would like to create an advantage.
Sure. How are we helping?
She's piloting pretty furiously, right?
Yes.
Between asteroids and stuff.
There are very few asteroids. The closer you guys get, the less space debris there is. As you guys are kind of seeing, just barely out of the corner of your eye, these ships are not just shooting at you while Georgiana is weaving between them. They're also shooting and just trying to keep general space clutter out.
So what I would like to do is create more clutter Is there any way that I can break up the asteroids as we pass them?
Sure, since you
So
guys
that
are
they ha-
sort of far out here, you could basically bust one up. I would say you'd
How-
probably need to hop onto, one of the turrets and give that a shoot, though.
Well, that's Aldris's job. Go, Aldris, go!
Running
Mm.
around in circles, and I just jump on the cannon.
So I would need to use shoot, basically.
You're literally shooting a cannon, so that makes sense. You can ask Aldris to assist you.
Yeah, I have a 0 shoot.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
I don't think mine's
I-
much better.
Well,
Could I
yours is
per-
arcane, Aldris, because we have that cannon add-on.
Oh yeah, the special cannon for
Could
me.
I perhaps do crafty helper on Aldris's gunning system?
Ooh.
You very much could, yeah. Go ahead and roll that real quick. Since we're doing this so quickly, I'll just ask you for a 3.
Damn, I'll use a fate point to get it up.
So we'll bring that up to a 4. All right,
Okay.
Aldris, and you are getting shooty, my friend, which should be your arcane skill. We renamed it away from lore.
Huh.
Basically, we're trying to burst up these asteroids. Gigi's aware of them, so should help a little bit. We do need a 4, though, as we are being shot at, and there's a lot of shit going on. Fortunately, you have a +2 on this. Excellent. So you have a 5. We'll just go boop. There you go. Free invoke. And with that, you're able to burst up this. Look how we're just like feeding skills into each other. Nara feeds to Aldris. Aldris feeds to Georgiana. All right, Georgiana, you now have, we'll say, sort of like a blanket of asteroids and such. And you can weave between these as you are getting closer and closer to this planet. You can tell the enemies are, well, they're doing one of two things. They are obviously trying to shoot you out of the sky, but you feel like they're also trying to like lead you. And well, where they're trying to lead you definitely does not feel safe for obvious reasons.
Are they trying to lead me where I'm going?
Half and half. Now that you've like corrected yourself and you're flying directly toward this planet now, they're pursuing you faster. So actually, you have a feeling that they don't want you to land here.
Then I want to land there.
Alrighty.
I hope to God we can get off.
Alrighty. Roll me pilot again, and then we get that free +2 when you do it.
Don't
Due to
roll another
the-
0.
Don't roll under a 0.
5.
Nope. That brings you up to a 5.
Can I shoot at them while she's doing that?
You can very much do that. Actually, Ryder, roll me shoot 2 times. Oh my god.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm gonna roll to dodge. I rolled a 2, you rolled a 6 and a 5, I rolled a 2 and a 1. Okay, while we are entering Atmo, if you will,
Another question.
another answer.
I don't suppose they're close enough to a tractor beam into our dungeon area.
Our
Is
dungeon
one-
area.
Is one of them?
The bay?
Yeah.
Where you keep your mechs?
Is that really a dungeon?
No, I mean, like.
What are you doing in the hangar, Georgiana?
Oh no.
No, I mean, pull them in and then immediately, I don't know, teleport them into the dungeon area.
What dungeon area?
You have
What?
you have a bedroom for this, not the
No,
bed.
the Briggs!
Okay.
We have a little cell area for wanted alive criminals.
You do.
Not for big things.
I mean, it's just a thought. Are they that big?
They're quite large, but we can say
Okay.
this. Since you guys were paid quite handsomely in our last mission, we can say that you installed something in the Kabuto that basically lets you hold on to, we'll say something mech size, like comparable to your mech size, and theoretically it can hold this thing, it can contain it. As long as you roll high enough and as long as you have it contained, you can very much get something and keep it.
Like, you mean like a tractor beam outside the ship?
Basically, you can do one of two things. So if you guys want this, I think it sounds pretty cool,
Okay.
so why not?
Can I yank one of these things down on this planet with me since they don't want me to go there?
You can do that. What I'm saying is if you roll high enough, you can capture one and you can basically shove it into this little hold, basically. So you have one slot like that. If you guys capture a mech, you can put it in there. And if you capture one of these things, it will easily fit because it's smaller than your mech.
I wish to do that because I'm getting tired of getting shot at today.
Okay.
What do you mean? It's so much fun.
If it's fun, Aldris, I could work something out for you.
Oh no.
No.
Do I blow up any of them by shooting them?
Yes, Ryder. I was going to say, with a 6 and a 5, you'll take down approximately, so that they're fairly small. So you're actually going to take down about 4 of them. If you want to go ahead and narrate that for me real quick, we can jump to Georgiana after that.
I swing around the gun and I shoot one on its wing and it like can't drive properly, so it crashes into his buddy next to him. And then I shoot the other two and they blow up in midair as the other two fly through like the debris and smoke after us.
Excellent, excellent. All right, and as you're doing that, Georgiana, say
Captain Aldris, look at that little turd who's breaking out in front. Catch him!
you guys see this little turd, as Georgiana so wonderfully puts it. Aldris, you can use we'll say you're close to the tractor beam, and in combination with your magics, I'm going to roll basically dodge, and you can just roll me raw shoot. I'm going to make his roll a little bit higher, so...
Can I give him a buff by finagling the Caputo, like, I don't know, a couple inches closer?
I will say normally these things would have been borderline impossible to capture, but due to your expert piloting, Georgiana, the opportunity has presented itself. So normally this wouldn't be possible.
So that's my boost to Aldris this time?
Effectively, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the boost is allowing you to do this. You know, since you were being chased and going through an asteroid field and trying to go for a planet and you're being pulled by one of the planets, then it'd be really, really, really hard.
All right, fair enough. Good luck, Aldris!
But there's an opening to capture this bad boy. So I'm going to go ahead and roll. All right, right down the line, I got a 4. Roll me Arcane.
And 3, 2, 1 bad roll. Okay.
Hey, you got a 6! Alrighty, excellent.
Woo!
You're able to nab this little turd, as Georgiana so eloquently put it. It does not want to go into our little dungeon.
Too bad, sucker.
I wonder why.
I wonder why. And as you're getting closer and closer to this planet, you actually break through the clouds, and the whole Kabuto kind of sort of shakes a bit with it. You're not sure, you don't think you hit anything, there's none of the sensors telling you are, but the clouds themselves kind of offered some resistance, yes?
I will ask Kabuto, what was that?
You can tell right now the Kabuto is in full scan mode, both scanning the thing behind you and also scanning everything around because we're in a completely new biome.
All right.
And as we're slowly breaking through the clouds, you can tell the little turd behind you is trying its best to keep up, but it's kind of flying like it's flying in a very particular way as Aldris is trying to capture it. It almost looks like it's flying around certain things. You don't know if it's dodging something that's floating in the air or if it's actually trying to dodge Aldris. Regardless, it fails both of those things because Aldris are able to nab it with the tractor beam and kind of like fish it and, oh my god, what the hell, then you noodle this son of a bitch on in and you throw him into your Kabuto dungeon. The back end of the Kabuto closes up. You do know that you indeed have it, but it's bouncing around in this like lightning cage, basically.
Good work, Aldris.
And as you break through these clouds, you can see that this might have once been a beautiful planet, but currently it is, well, let's just say, not doing so hot. The various waters look brackish and dark. Most of the plants look poisonous from a distance. You see various animals moving in packs, but they all look mean. You don't see any people, and you barely see any buildings people would be living in, but you see plenty that are indeed dilapidated. This place looks like it's seen better days. You're not sure if the whole planet looks like this or just this one location, but there are many areas where you could land if you wish to, Georgiana.
I would prefer to land somewhere like a high point for the view.
Sure.
But that will also put us in the view of everything that can look up.
We have baby stealth mode.
Oh, yeah. All right. Activate baby stealth mode and land somewhere up high.
After feign dangling a bit, baby stealth mode enables you to land on what seems to be sort of a ridge that was overlooking what used to be a town.
Oh, there were actually towns here. Okay.
Yes. Many tall buildings that are dilapidated, fallen. You see various ships and some wheeled vehicles that are
they
long.
like all those futuristic movies with the plants of like totally overgrown over half the buildings and stuff?
Very much so, yes.
I love
Yes.
that vibe.
Yeah, there are vines and various beasties interwoven between all these fallen buildings. As you guys look about, you can tell that you are no longer being followed.
While the atmosphere here will not immediately kill any of us, I would highly recommend you go out in your suits, at least until I can determine whether or not it is safe for you.
Noted. Keep that scan going.
Of course, Georgiana.
Time to go interrogate that turd.
Whoa.
Oh, that's awfully rude.
He was shooting at us. He was a turd.
I mean, I can't argue that.
True, but rude.
I'm gonna.
Still rude. Probably true.
I'm
Can
gonna
we just
stop
have
the
one of their
containment
ships
bay.
in our ship?
Yeah, you captured one.
Come on, Captain. Bring your guns.
And as you guys head to the hangar, so I can describe it quite simply, actually. It looks very similar to a completely black beetle with its wings enclosed, and it has like these two, they're not spikes now that you can see closer. They're just two segments, almost like mandibles that push forward. It is not a bug. It is not organic. It is very much a ship, but that is what it looks like. Completely smooth. You don't see any port and no doors or anything for exiting. You don't see any windows. And it's kind of just like hovering like...
Laura, can you hack it?
Well, I can try.
I'm gonna bang on the front and tell him to get out.
So it is located in like an energy cell.
And we don't know where its guns are, so I don't think I'd
Can I-
enter just
Can I
yet.
tell?
Yeah, it's approximately the size of your mech too. Or
Can I
sorry.
tell the Kabuto to like shock it and yell to get out?
So it's very simple in its shape. It actually sort of looks like this from the side, where it's flat on the bottom, domed on the top, and then has this like pincer thing. And then from the top, it looks like this. And then sort of has one pincer going like there, and one pincer going like right there. Very, very simple
Love
looking.
you, husband.
I love you too.
Is the Kabuto able to shock it inside the cell?
Yes, very much so. As
All right, I tell Kabuto to do that.
the Kabuto administers a shock or two, and you can see it has disturbed this ship. It like, and it seems to be almost reacting too much, almost as if it's in pain, sort of like its knee. You know, when you like hit your knee and you kick automatically, it's almost like an instant reaction, and it slowly kind of like, and like kind of goes to land, and it's just hovering above the floor, maybe 10, 15 feet.
I'm gonna press on my microphone. Get out of your ship now.
You say that and do not receive a response.
I zap it again.
All right, you zap it again and effectively get the same response. It does a quick flip in this small area and actually bounces off one of the walls. Once again, seems relatively disturbed, but just kind of goes back to hovering. After maybe you do this one or two more times, the Kabuto returns with,
No organic life detected on enemy ship.
Another robot? What's up with these robots?
Flame.
Can I see if there's anything similar in their make, even though they don't look the same?
the thing chasing you.
Yeah.
Well, what kind of similarities are you looking for?
How it tried to send us that, gargantuan amount of data.
So in that sense, this thing seems much more simple, both in terms of combat prowess and I would say its ability effectively to like send you hacks. You want to say that?
Question.
Yes.
Electrical systems usually have, like at least complicated ones, have a watermark or a signature. Nara should be able to recognize that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you haven't really hacked into it or touched it necessarily at Nara, so you're more than welcome
I
to give it a
can.
poke. Yeah.
Can I give it a poke?
Yeah, sure.
Is that a provoke skill? I'm just kidding.
Definitely. You
Or
just start
am
yelling.
I?
You just start yelling at it, and it yells
You're a
back.
piece of shit.
Wow,
I'm
rude.
gonna push in our little
Ooh.
buggy thing that we use to kind of move around small parts for our mech.
Mhm.
As I push it in, I'm gonna have Kabuto open that side. Pretty much, it's like it can grab onto big items, like a leg of our mech or something. So it's used to being able to hold on to things. So it's big enough to grab this ship, almost like a claw.
You effectively hold it down, and it resists initially, like, and it's kind of pulling and moving the claw, but it just sort of submits to its fate and then just floats there while Nara is trying to get some information from it. I will tell you up front, like fully, the being that is following you guys is infinitely more complicated than this. In fact, upon first blush, just looking at it, Nara, it is dumb is the wrong word.
Simplistic.
Simplistic, yes.
Simplistic. Wow.
But whatever programming it follows is incredibly simple. You can tell all it wants to do is get back to its flock, basically.
Would you say that the Kabuto is higher in intelligence than that as well?
Infinitely, yes.
Okay.
This, if anything,
That's
Nara
fine.
seems like an automated combat unit,
Oh, interesting. Like a
It's-
drone.
like a drone. It's meant to kill. That's it. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. I'm not going to care about it then. Actually,
You could reprogram it.
I was just going to be like, can I reprogram it?
I initiate your aspect. Do it.
Well, I mean, can't you see where it came from? Because they kind of came out of nowhere.
Do you mean physically or where it was built?
No, I mean, because they attacked us out of nowhere, so they have to been, because you said this is a very simplistic drone, so that means, it was sent out of probably a larger ship or planet or dock base or something. So figuring out where that's located would be important before anything.
I would like to know a few things.
I would like to answer a few things.
One, since it's kind of programmed to do this, does that mean it has a programmed home base? And can we access that location?
Yes, you very quickly find out that, we'll say the first information that you receive, Nara, is that its home base is not this planet specifically. It is not meant to return here. It is meant to return to the large metal planet or one of the effectively satellites floating around that planet. And it returns there to recharge or to, repairs, whatever, what have you.
Hey, Nara,
Hmm.
I have a plan. So if you can hack it to return it back to sender, I think it'd be smart if we pack it full of explosives. So when we send it back to base, and then we can detonate it and blow them up.
That was the plan. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Sort of. Not as a bomb, but I'll do it as a bomb. So I did want to know if I could reprogram it to return and, create some havoc.
We will say, we'll take that hacking roll you had, the 6. I'm going to go ahead and roll against it, basically as a defense roll. So we'll make this all-encompassing, effectively. A lot of the information you wanted, Nara, you didn't really need to hack. You needed to hack into, but it didn't really require a roll, as it was relatively easy. This is more difficult, so rather than a passive check of trying to beat a small number, I'm going to potentially roll against and win. So we shall indeed see. No is the answer. All right. It puts up somewhat of a fight, but you discover, Nara, that you are actually able to... Are you putting a bomb in this thing, on this thing?
I am rigging it to explode. Like, I'm not putting a bomb in it. I'm just making it a bomb.
However we accomplish this...
I don't want to waste my materials.
Of course. However we accomplish this, though, you do know that once it returns to sender, it will indeed explode. We'll say when it's in close proximity to its repair zone.
Okay. Is there any way I could get it to send information back to us before it does that?
Potentially. What kind of information do you want to receive?
Like the company that it's from or the ship that it's from.
Before it explodes, you should be able to get this information.
All right.
Both of those will indeed succeed. But as you guys have landed on this planet, the Kabuto is continually running scans. It's kind of come back with, technically you can survive. There is oxygen on this planet, but it's thin. So once again, the Kabuto does indeed recommend you bring your suits. And there is, surprise, surprise, plenty of hostile life out there. You may choose to leave in your mechs. You may choose to leave in your suits. It is entirely up to you.
Probably mechs, since we just, got attacked the second we got here.
Yeah.
Alrighty, what is the plan?
How long has the city been abandoned?
You can tell that this place has definitely gone to the weeds for quite some time. We'll say the Kabuto is going to run a scan on... When you say abandoned, what do you mean exactly?
Has there been no one living in these buildings for like 50 years, 100 years? I mean, nature goes fast, so it could even be just 20.
You do receive a response after a moment. It's difficult to ascertain precisely when, but yes, it does sort of look like this happened rapidly, like very rapidly. Almost as if this happened in 10 years. It looks like it was accelerated from an outside force. This isn't entirely natural, although all the plants and animals are indeed natural. They are living, they are indeed plants, but they seem overly hostile. In terms of humanoid life, there's a few blips. You could definitely fly the Kabuto around. She could send off sort of a little sensor and like doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and effectively look for any groups that are kind of mulling about, but it really shouldn't be too hard to find.
I like that.
Okay. As you guys look up, you can see that the planet is almost entirely surrounded by these clouds. It's maybe like a quarter of a mile thick. Not in all locations. In some it's thicker, in some it's thinner, but they are very slowly roiling up above.
Can she tell us anything about the weather?
The weather seems partially artificial.
Not acidic, right?
Partially. It wouldn't burn your skin, and it's not like outright acid rain. Something that is probably influencing the life here.
Can she guesstimate the source of the pull? Like, is it just pure gravity, or is there something additional?
It's definitely not gravity. And as the Kabuto attempts to run a few quick scans of this planet, we learn that it is, we'll say approximately, I want to say like half the size of our Earth. All 3 planets are approximately that size. They're very, very similar in size and shape. And you find that whatever was pulling is actually located at the center of this planet. And it's not gravity. There is a device in the center that apparently is programmed to pull any errant ships that basically don't fit their coding to this planet.
Coding, huh?
Yeah, basically, unless you match a certain, 00111200. No twos, sorry.
And we have the Kabuto figure out what that coding is. I assume it'll take a while.
Definitely, yeah. The Kabuto can try to figure that out. You guys are
Are
not
the
being pursued.
humanoids in space suits, or are they out without it?
Difficult to tell from here, as we're trying to scan a lot of things at once and we're not really moving currently. But they are alive. They are moving about.
And the robot we're trying to find, is it like a ship or like a humanoid?
When last seen, it was humanoid and approximately 8 feet tall.
I want to get in my mech and head to the closest town.
Right.
I want to as well.
Okay, sounds good.
Is anyone else going to stay behind?
As if. Not
I mean, if we
me.
really need someone to, I can. I don't see why we need someone to, though.
The Kabuto can full on defend itself, and if it needs to say something and say, hey, I need assistance, it can shoot guys, while you're on the way back. You guys are in your max. You can fly back pretty quick. So
All right. Well, let's tell her to not overestimate herself and give us a heads up at the first sign of problems.
Of course. I will issue any assistance the second I require it.
Okay. Liam's with me.
Liam has launched with
Are we
Georgiana.
tag teaming?
Ooh, good question. Who wants to be my third wheel?
I'm everybody's third wheel.
Ow.
Aren't we all?
All right, you're with me then.
Meh. Typical.
Did the teletech go up this round?
Roll me craft one more time, Aldris.
There we go.
Yes, it should be up and running.
What is that thing again?
Basically, if the two of them wish to, we'll say it has obviously limited uses. If you guys, are in a scenario where, no combat, you're not falling, nothing awful's happening to you, you can activate it a number of times, a reasonable number of times. And your physical bodies can swap places, or you can have Ryder warp to Aldris, or Aldris warp to Ryder.
Oh,
It's
God.
called the Bro Portal.
The bro portal.
The bro portal.
Now we need a girl portal.
It sounds a
Do I
little
have to make
weird.
another one?
The sister portal.
It's called the Brodal.
The Brodal? That is not fun to
Gordle.
say.
I feel like I should just make one for everyone and it just lets you decide who you want to go to.
That's not a bad idea.
I wouldn't have all of them ready yet, but
All right, are we all just kind
Anyways,
of
Onward
scoping
to
out
the
and just
city.
looking around, going to the city?
Yeah, I want to ask people if they've seen a tall figure.
As the four of you sort of float out and begin to search for life, you see various animals kind of scurry away. Some on 4 legs, some on 6. There's some beasts that are slithering in and out of windows and hiding in the darkness as they can. The light of the sun doesn't reach this planet all that well, but there's bioluminescent plants strewn about to offer some light to us. Of course, your mechs also have night vision and any kind of vision you could possibly need, so you guys can see everything you need to see.
Courtesy of Nara.
Courtesy of Nara, of course. While you're searching for life, you do see just up ahead in a dilapidated building what you believe to be a small group of bipedal folk. It seems that there are approximately 4 of them in number.
Do they look like they're cowering?
You cannot physically see them. All you know is they are in this building.
Can we get like a heat signature?
Sure. As you do that,
Is it
Georgiana,
one building or?
all 4 of them are in one building. This building, in particular, looks like it fell over kind of on its side, and they are mostly grouped under it, like on the 2nd floor. And they're all kind of hanging out and chilling there. You can tell that there's a few more defenses here. Most of the windows are completely boarded up, whether it be with other parts of the building or various plants that have kind of completely overgrown these
Can I
windows.
get out of my suit?
You very much can. Georgiana, to answer your question, they're not cowering, but you can tell that they are looking in your general direction. So they're aware that you're here.
I want to go knock on their door.
You don't really see a door, but you see what could possibly pass as an entrance.
Walk up, knock on it. I'm like, hello? Is anyone home?
All right, as you do, you can hear your voice echo down the street. Just hello, 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 hello. Georgiana, Nara, and Aldris, you're sort of watching him do this. You can see the bodies kind of move to the right and they move to the left, and you can see they're probably discussing something, Georgiana, but they don't seem to be armed with traditional weaponry. One of them looks like he might be holding something, and so does the one behind them, but that particular item isn't really letting off any heat, so it's difficult to tell what it is. Something that's one-handed, something that's two-handed.
Our robots are back to normal, right?
Define normal.
Like, I don't have that plant stuff on my bot anymore.
Oh, yeah, that all fell off.
All right, cool. Just making sure.
Yeah. You're no longer your plant Zord form. Sorry, Georgiana, you're no longer...
No more mushroom hat.
No more mushroom hat, no more giant T-Rex with googly eyes.
Yeah, that's all right.
Well, we can probably work on the T-Rex.
Yeah.
Giant pink
So do
T-Rex.
I hear, like, not scurrying, but, like, people moving around inside?
You do hear shifting about, yes. They seem less than excited to answer you.
I knock again.
As you knock, Aldris and Nara, what are you two doing?
I'm just kind of looking around to see if anything else is coming while he does that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm running some scans.
Is this the only building around, or is there other ones?
You're in a town.
Oh,
Like a
I am
city.
in a town?
You guys are in a city, yeah. You're surrounded by buildings. Most of them have animals in them. This seems to be the only one that has some people in it.
I have some questions. Hello?
The various animals and such maybe at first wanted to attack you guys, but now that they're seeing your general size, they're less than willing to do so.
Mood.
Georgiana, you see these four figures walk closer and closer to one of the windows, but they don't open it. They don't really push the plants to the side. It looks just like a conglomerate of vines, effectively. And Ryder, after you say that, you hear a voice come back to you after a quick cough. What do you want? Who are you?
Hi, we're just looking for something. I just wanted you guys to see if you guys knew anything.
How did you get here? How did you find us?
Well, the thing that we're looking for kind of led us to this planet. You know, the quicker we can find it, the quicker we can get off the planet.
How do we know we can trust you?
These are all good questions. I don't even know who you are because I can't really see you, but, you know, I'm just trying to look for something. You know, I don't mean no harm.
As they're sort of mulling this over, roll me whichever speech skill you wish that you're best at. If any of you wish to chime in on this, real quick, I'm actually not sure if you guys know this. So for skill challenges, you guys can help each other in these too. So if you wanted to say something, Georgiana,
That garbage.
you're trying to deceive them?
Oh, you said roll a talkie thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure your rapport is good. It's still +1, so you can still take the 0. It's fine. Not too big of a deal.
Oh, okay.
It's the same modifier. Not a big deal. It's +1. You can do things like backup writer with something. Let's say, Georgiana, you're really good at speeching. You can say something, and that can give him a +2.
I'll go ahead and do that. I mean, we did come here by accident, kind of.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me whatever associated skill that would be. We just need to beat a 2.
Listen, man, I don't really know your planet very well, so I don't even know like what y'all got going on here. But
All right, I think you beat the 2, Georgiana.
I'm just trying to look for something. If you guys could help me out.
All right,
Quicker we
Ryder.
can leave.
This gives you a 2 with the assistance from Georgiana. Georgiana, what do you say specifically to kind of backup Ryder?
What was the guy's question again?
How can we trust you? Why are you guys here? Like, this isn't somewhere you just vacation to, clearly.
I actually want to briefly open my mech so that they can. I mean, I assume our headgear isn't too thick so they can see our faces.
They can see you, yeah.
I want to dazzle them with my pretty eyes. No, I'm kidding. So yeah, I just want to do that briefly so that I can see it, so that I can say we came here by accident, but we weren't expecting to find this place looking so miserable. You know, we help you if you help us find what we came here for.
As the two of you say this, you hear some more rustling, and the vines are slightly pushed to the side. And you can tell this effectively functions as a door. They move quite easily, and a head sort of pops out Ryder. It's difficult to see them in the dark, but you do see a pair of eyes looking at you, and they say, "What do you want?"
I'm looking for something. I would say person, but it's more of a robot. He's about like 7 feet tall, silver looking, humanoid in nature.
You hear sort of a scoffing laugh at that. They say,
Yeah, they're everywhere. You're just looking for a robot? What?
No, this one's different. This one's more important. You would know if you saw it.
There's a pause for a moment as the air grows somewhat serious.
What do you mean different?
As in, you probably wouldn't want to run into this robot by chance.
We've been told he's very moody.
Does it happen to have a name? Do you know what you're looking for?
Oh yeah, it did have a name. What was it?
Ball 8 something something. 817. I just forgot the last two numbers.
Yeah, his name's Ball 817.
You're looking to bring... What business do you have with that thing?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
You hear somewhat scared chattering in the background, almost as if they're trying to tell you to, like, hey, wrap this conversation up. And they're like, no, stop.
I will very quickly. We were told he's a menace, so we just want to put him out of everyone's misery.
The
Yeah,
whispering
we're just trying to get him and go. So, the quicker we can find him, the quicker we can get out of your hair.
The whispering stops, and they open this little vine hatch just a little more to look at you.
You're trying to defeat it?
I mean, yeah.
Looking outside, they can see your Formax.
What did you bring with you?
You're looking at him.
Is that enough?
I guess you don't really know who I am.
Sorry, we've been here a while. I haven't the foggiest.
Let's just say me and my crew are the best at what we do.
You can see the silhouette of this person. A hand is placed on their shoulder, and they're kind of pulled back. And a more gruff-looking gentleman. This man he's got some chunk to his funk. If you catch my drift, he's wearing broken glasses, and he has a very raggedy white beard. He looks like he's definitely lived his ages, as he kind of doesn't really pop his head out, but he pushes the vines about a bit more, and he looks at you. He says, "You brought a team, did you?"
Yeah, I mean, you could say that.
He kind of smirks and adjusts his cracked glasses, and the person behind him is kind of giving him like that was rude. I was talking. He's like, blah. Well, let's just get down to it then. What, you're here to kill, Ball?
Essentially, yes.
And, well, what about us?
I don't really know who you guys are. I just came here to defeat a robot and go about my way.
Put it simply, we're prisoners. We can't leave this planet, and we're next on the chopping block. If we give you information, will you help us?
How are you guys prisoners?
We can't leave. We attempt to leave, we die.
From who?
He points up, says, Ball, obviously. You think he's letting us leave the planet? We don't have the technology anymore. We did, he shot us down.
Well, I mean, we got on the planet just fine without running into Ball. That's why we came here to find him.
He kind of squints his eyes and looks at you.
Paul doesn't have anything to do with those black, sleek pieces of turd, does he?
He looks up to you, then Georgiana. And he kind of gives a look of like, yeah, I mean, he's controlling them.
Oh, those things are easy.
Oh.
True, but he's got thousands of them.
So what you're saying is what? Ball is on the metal planet?
Yeah. To my knowledge, he is the planet.
What? That's not 8 feet tall.
Yeah. 8 feet tall, who told you that?
Well, someone said he's a humanoid type robot.
I believe that's probably true. He most likely has a humanoid form somewhere, but, well, he controls everything over there. Effectively, it is him. He's controlling all those little turds, as you so politely called them, Miss Pink.
So what you're trying to say is take down the planet, and that frees you people.
Not necessarily, no. Let me be more, well, upfront. As he adjusts his glasses again, he looks at you. Are you Ryder?
See, my reputation precedes me.
The Ryder?
Yes, the Ryder.
He tries to look over the horizon. He doesn't see the Kabuto anywhere, and he kind of is still sticking to the shadows. Says, all right. How's this sound? You take him out, however you need to. I don't really give a shit. I can pay you. Everyone back here, well, they're just barely hanging on. One of us could go any day now. So, you can take him out, or, realistically, just get us off this shit heap. I can pay you and your team quite well. How's that sound?
See, now you're talking my language.
Yes, I can give you whatever information you need, assist in, well, any meager way I can, but let's just say you will be paid after this little altercation. I don't care if you kill the thing. I don't really care what you do. We just need to leave. I assume you're not, well, if you want to completely skip it and you're confident in your piloting skills, you could take the 4 of us and just leave.
Well, currently we're sending one of his drones back to his little base. It's gonna send him a nice little message.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll appreciate that. It's up to you.
But-
You want to be a hero and take him out, you're more than welcome to. My pay will still be the same flat rate, and trust me, I'm good for it.
Well, now that we know where he is, I'll take you on the offer of you giving us some cash, and we're gonna go take him out. So then
Sure.
you guys don't have to leave this planet, and everything's Gucci.
You are not the only people on this planet, are you?
Considering it's an entire planet, most likely not. They occasionally fly down and scoop us up like crops. They take us to that metal heap and do God's knows with them. They don't come back, though. I just want to be gone. That's all I care about.
So, what information do you have about the planet? Anything that could help us?
He thinks himself for a moment and kind of scratches at his chin and scratches his stomach and kind of pushes the vines a bit further and says, I might know a thing or two, but he points to you and kind of points to himself and then holds his hand out as if to shake yours. I don't have any legal documentation on me currently, Ryder, nor will I have any money, but will this suffice for now? A gentleman's agreement?
Sure.
Sure. And he holds his hand out to shake yours.
I shake it.
Okay. He shakes your hand and kind of gives you a maybe overly cocky smirk. He's probably just excited to possibly be off this shithole. He says, the name's Olin. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm shaking it with my robot hand.
He looks down at that and kind of nods almost as affirming to himself, like, yep, this is probably the guy. And he lets go and says, well, what do I want to know exactly? I can tell you, shit, my people crash landed here. We were, let's say, going by on some form of expedition is all I'm really willing to share. And Ball and whatever army he thinks he's building, well, they shot us down. They killed most of us, but, well, rather than letting us just crash, they plucked most of the folk out of the ship. Anyone who landed, well, I guess whenever it suits his fancy, he decides to plug us up again and drag us over to that hellhole.
That planet himself?
To my knowledge, it was like that when I got here. Someone told me that all 3 of these planets they were just planets, nor were they shaped like this, and, well, this close together. So, something happened.
Interesting. But
Yes,
he's
quite.
only on that planet.
To my knowledge, yes. I mean, that'd make the most sense. It is the most well-defended. He and his cronies occasionally come down to this one to, like I said, scoop us up. I've lasted this long. I'd like to
Do
leave.
they come and scoop you up in those bug-like robots?
Correct.
I'm assuming you don't know any weak points to that base up there.
He looks up and you guys can just barely see beyond the clouds. One of the moons that was sort of floating around the planet seems to be primarily made of metal, and that's most likely where they refuel, if you will. He says, nah, having the foggiest. I can't say most of what he's created is probably put together with various bits of scrap metal, so, you know, as long as you hit it hard enough, should break.
I mean, seems like it. His first wave was not a challenge at all.
No, individually they're not strong. It's more of a group effort.
Well, I mean, that's not going to be a problem for my crew. Like I said, I'll take care of this, and I'll come back down here and let you know when the ball is deflated.
He slowly smiles at that and says, right. And he kind of just eyes jump to the other 3 mechs. And he nods to you, Georgiana.
I'll nod back and close my mech.
You hop back in and he sort of moves back through the window. And he's just sort of chilling in that room. And you can see that they are unveiling whatever like bioluminescent glow they had sort of floating about in the background. They were trying to hide very clearly, but they don't really care now, obviously, as you're talking to them. And you can see 4 people sort of silhouetted in this like blue-green light. He says, well, we await your return.
All right, crew, roll out. And I hop back in my mech.
I give them the finger guns, and I.
You
keep
said you
roll
gave him
out.
the finger.
Yeah, same. I was like,
what?
wow.
I gave him the finger.
I was like, what did they do? All right, so
Pretty much.
as we're flying back, I'm just talking to everybody through my, the comms. I'm like, well, I mean, we were going to get paid anyways, but now we're going to get double paid. So that seems cool. Hopefully, I don't know. So we've already dealt with a few of his bots. Nara, do you have an ETA on when that bot that we set back is gonna blow up?
Do I have any ETA on that, GM?
You guys can release it, and you'll know when it will explode. It should return back to home base. So whenever you guys choose to release it, we can wait that appropriate time, and it can blow up at your earliest convenience.
Let's hop back into the Kabuto and turn on stealth mode, fly up, release the bot, and kind of like we'll follow it, but not follow it too close. But once it explodes, we'll use that as a time to kind of swoop in onto the planet.
We should see if we can also get like better scans so we know where like the main body is instead of just a bunch of scrap metal.
So the general plan is to stealth, get close, and then let the little bomb boy go off. And then after the bomb boy goes off, what are you guys planning on doing after that?
Getting on the planet, and then I guess we'll figure out from there.
Sure.
He can come and go from this planet to the other planet all on his own, right?
The little bot?
Yeah.
Yes, easily.
Can we copy his energy signatures so in order for us to leave?
Possibly. The Kabuto has been trying to effectively scan whatever that sequence is to get it figured out. But we can say while you guys are planning and like timing to let this little bot go, the Kabuto will most likely have that signature by then. And can effectively hide the four of you, plus the Kabuto, of course, in this field. So you guys effectively can leave the planet, and you should be able to theoretically fly around.
Sounds good.
As you all hop back into the Kabuto, you feel just for a moment a light pull on the ship as you take the helm again, Georgiana, and begin to lift off back into space. It yanks slightly at you, almost like a cat, like a ghost, toying with something, but it lets you go. Unlike Ghost, who never lets go of his enemies, and always goes for the throat.
No.
That's because Ghost is the best.
Ghost is definitely the best. If you guys just realistically just shoot Ghost at the enemy, you're good. Just go collect your money. Just say, trust us, it's dead. You don't want to see it.
One day we'll know what Ghost actually looks like instead of just a ball of fluff.
Get your sanity rolls ready for that.
Oh no. Some Eldritch Abomination.
Exactly. Heading out, you guys are actually able to hit the atmosphere with little to no trouble. You discover that whatever force is pulling at you guys, I was effectively testing to see if you were or were not allowed to be here. Since you are indeed allowed to be here, you are also allowed to leave. You guys once again push through the clouds. There is indeed some resistance. You're not sure if there's something mechanical in the clouds themselves. The Kabuto kind of came back with, once again, it is very much not natural. Whatever was placed in the clouds or like done up to this planet turned it the way it is. So some form of artificial weather basically ruined this place. And on top of that, you guys are back out into space. Now that your sensors know what to look for, these little black like beetle pods kind of blend in, obviously, to the background. Space is nothing. There are various stars and bits, but you can only see them when they pass by a star, and only for a split second. They move just like a bird wave.
Very hive mind.
Oh yeah, very hive mind. There's it's not one large group, it's a whole bunch of small groups, but now that you guys know what to look for, the Kabuto can basically point them out towards you. As you hit space, they don't react. They maybe pause for the briefest of moments, but they don't go to shoot at you guys. You're not sure how long this will last, but for now, you guys can move out freely.
Right?
Yes, you are. And the plan was to move towards one of the satellites and let this little boy go.
Yeah.
All right. We do just that, and appropriately timed, we let the small lad return back home. And effectively, it's going to explode when it's most convenient for us. So what's the plan when that happens?
I want to get a little bit closer to the planet and scan for best entry point.
So we'll look for two things. Basically, a scan to see where the important bits of this planet are, and then another scan to see probably where the safest place to land is. From a distance, this planet just looks like a ball of blades. There's very obvious locations where you can land, smooth areas, if you will, but the whole planet occasionally kind of shifts like a Rubik's Cube, very slowly. It is quite the sight to behold from this distance. And then as we let this small boy go, it kind of bzz, 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 like flies in a circle. It's very confused. It seems lost. And then it kind of right, and then it rights itself and then begins to fly towards the satellite. It lands in its little docking spot, and you guys know you have 5, 4,
3, 2, 1 seconds until he explodes. Nara and Aldris, go ahead and run me those scans. You guys doing individual scans, or are you rolling together?
I was just gonna get scans to assist his or whatever.
If you want to just flat assist him, he can have a +1. If you want to try to beat a certain score, you can do that, and it'll give him a +2. Up to you.
What's the roll?
Should be, well, for you, it should be burglary for scanning. For her, attacking.
Well, I should be assisting her then.
Excellent. Whip out the hack space, Nara. Whatever you roll, you get a +1 to it.
Oof. Let me re-roll that. Oh my god, are you kidding me? This always happens when I re-roll from that.
So that is correct. That's actually better. Because you roll a 1
Is
plus a
it?
3. Yeah, it is. I'm not sure why I didn't update the first roll, but that is indeed better. So your first
Okay.
roll was a -2. This roll is a +1.
Okay.
Yes, so you actually have 3 plus 1, which gives you 4, plus 1 from Aldris gives you 5. That is more than good
Excellent.
enough. Exactly. This tells you quite a few things, actually. This planet is indeed covered with all sorts of baddies. You guys 100% do not want to be in anywhere near the atmosphere of this planet, or like flying around it during an attack, during defense, during anything. You know it will notice you way too quick, so you need to land like ASAP. And if it does, it will shoot you down in a heartbeat, unless Georgiana pulls off some crazy piloting skills and you guys just start shooting back, because this thing's going to go nuts. Quickly realizing this, Nara, you guys find a nice stretch of land where you can land, where you can kind of pilot the Kabuto down on. And I won't require a roll on this because you guys know where it is, Georgiana, so we can spare you that, fortunately.
Excellent.
Excellent. Indeed. I think both what you guys said was cut off. I heard from Georgiana like salent, and then I heard eat.
Whoops.
Alrighty, as you see this planet shifting about, you can tell for just a moment that it might have detected where the Kabuto is before it's actually able to get any readings on you guys. Georgiana is able to burst you guys outward right as the satellite doesn't completely explode, as it is indeed quite large, but fire erupts from one of its docks, and you just feel the vibration from here as you guys kind of boost yourselves on over to this planet. One of the first things your sensors come back with, Nara, is that somehow this planet is producing oxygen. Does not make any sense, as there are no plants on this planet whatsoever, but it somehow is producing oxygen and has some form of synthetic atmosphere.
Synthetic atmosphere, really?
Yes, there's something basically holding up an atmosphere on this planet. And as you guys get closer and closer looking for a target, the target ball, whatever you can possibly find, you are able to quickly ascertain maybe 3 to 4 targets that make the most sense. And they are on, from your guys' perspective, like the southeast face of the planet. So we quickly fandangle the Kabuto to land there, and you guys are free to exit.
All right.
They have too many
In
bad
my
guys
mech?
to go on foot.
Everyone's
Me
staying in
too.
mech mode?
Yes.
3 people go yes. I'll just no. I'm a bird.
I want to be free.
Freeze the wind.
Exactly. As you guys depart from the Kabuto, you can see all around you is just a metal wonderland. While it did look very jagged and such from a distance, they look to be effectively a facsimile of skyscrapers and such. There are various blue and red lights running up these very tall, winding buildings. Some of them spiral out from the ground. Others jut out like spikes and
What
stones.
is Ball trying to do? Play God?
You know, this planet is indeed entirely metal, though. And as you guys kind of look about, you look up, check around. The Kabuto is scanning, Nara is scanning, and luckily, nothing has found you guys currently. So you seem to be safe. You guys can kind of walk around and look about. What do we all do?
Since is it like a mechanical planet or is it just made out of metal?
Now that you're closer, it very much seems mechanical. At first, like there are some sections of this planet that are just metal with nothing in them. But there are many, 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 many that are running off of various computer bits, we'll just say.
Could I perhaps hack the planet?
The whole planet.
You're fired.
Could I though?
Yes and no. It depends on
To
what you're
create,
looking for.
I would like to create an advantage for us
on the whole planet.
a buff. No, for I want, because if it's a mechanical planet, I feel like I should be able to obscure our mechs from their systems.
That's very much something you could do in terms of
hacking the planet would be a little more difficult. But there's probably a better location to do that. You think you can, but not specifically here.
Wouldn't that be more just like scrambling our data so they can't like really track us?
That you very much can do, yes. So I would say
I could do scramble, but I definitely meant more like just obscuring us altogether.
yeah. Go ahead.
But
and
would
roll
it
me
make more sense to do the other?
either work? I will say in this instance, the method is not as important as the outcome. So the outcome being you cannot be seen is more important than technically how you do it. I'll say either would be effective.
All right. Do I roll hacking regardless?
Hacking or crafts, it really depends on how you want to go about it, because you can have your little robo mechs assist you. And with crafting and with hacking, you do get a +2 when you try to target your allies with a buff.
I'll do crafting with my bot.
Go ahead and just roll that raw.
How far are we from where the boy exploded?
We'll say the boy exploded on one of the moons of this planet, so you're pretty far. With this, we'll basically say if you guys are seen, so Nara, you kind of, we'll say you're able to sort of hack in and effectively find like the wavelength of what we're trying to do here. And if you guys are seen, you can invoke the obscured for free if you need a stealth or something, and that'll give you a free +2. And whenever you want to, Nara, when it makes sense, we can add to the obscured.
Scan for like kind of like a main base area.
Yes, it is rather far from here, but you do know that landing there would have been completely foolish, as you would have been, I'm not going to say torn apart, it just would have been too much of a hassle to land there.
Well, let's zoom on over there.
And this is past the mechanical town that we see?
Yes, you guys actually seem to be surrounded by a mechanical town. Anything in particular we're looking for as we head to the more defended area?
I guess signs of, like robot guards or anything.
Definitely. As you guys move about, we'll put it this way. Unless something directly notices you, I won't ask for stealth. But as you guys are just walking straight there, I will ask for the 4 of you to roll me stealth.
Oh no.
In this situation, we just need to beat a 1. Just a 1.
Stealth, huh?
Mm-hmm. We got a 4, a 2, a 2, and a 6. I think
I am the stealthiest boy ever.
You are quite stealthy.
Nara looks around and she's like, "Oh my god, where did Ryder go?"
I disappeared.
I scream.
Or she does not know. As you guys move about, you can see various bipedal mechs walking around. They range anywhere from 3 feet tall to 6 feet tall. And they seem to be, as you guys move closer to this town, you guys are walking along the road, and there are various, we'll kind of call them cars, but not really. They look somewhat similar to the ships that have been flying about, except they're kind of just hovering, and they are very much car and truck sized. As of current, no one really seems to notice you. They're going about their day, walking on what seems to be basically a sidewalk. Everything is like black and very steely looking metal. A lot of it has been welded into place. From what you guys can kind of see at various locations as you guys turn and begin to move northward and northward, a lot of the metals look as if they were stripped from various ships or various structures and then repurposed into this town. You can actually see just up ahead, there's a very large freighter. Currently, there are like small mechs working on it. When I say mechs, I more so mean just like androids. They're human-sized. And they are just basically burning off any of the decals you can see in this thing. They're cutting parts off. They're basically salvaging this massive freighter for parts.
I said, not that I want to be seen, but I mean, aren't we like 60 feet tall?
Yes, like I said, the main thing that Nara did was basically obscured your guys' signature initially. So that's why the stealth check was so low. Otherwise, if I asked for a +5 from each of you, you would have failed, and that would have been a very quick
Except
failure.
for me.
That's not fun. Yes, you would have succeeded, but if I asked for some crazy number at the beginning, that would have been kind of no bueno. So effectively, this stealth number is going to go higher and higher, depending on where you guys go. And
so there's a freight ship that you said that they're
correct.
looking at?
Yes, there's a very large freight ship that they are currently peeling for parts.
Missing ships, huh?
As you look around, you can tell that most of these are made from some variation of a missing ship. Moving further and further in, you see what seems to be like a large forge. The basin for where they're collecting a lot of the metals easily could fit 20 of your mechs, just like stacked on their backs, moving upward. It's huge.
Mechs doing this, right?
Yes, there are various androids moving about. As you guys come over to what seems to be this forge area, you guys are kind of, you're a fair distance away. But from here, you can tell that the androids that are working this forge are slightly shorter than your actual mechs. So they're approximately like 40, 50 feet tall.
How many are there?
There's a pretty fair amount. They don't really recognize you immediately as you guys run a quick scan. You can see there's approximately 10 to 15 sort of working this forge.
Do they look like more workers?
They very much do look like workers, but they don't look poorly made.
I would say we just skip past these guys because we need to find more of the base to find Ball.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
The four of you move past this forge, and as we get closer, ask for another stealth roll. Need to beat a 2 this time.
Killing me with these stealth rolls.
This. No.
We got a 1, a 0, a 3. Oh my god.
Okay. Can I have some of that? I
Nice.
need some
Alright.
of that.
Sorry, I've completely disappeared from everything.
Yeah.
She's covering for me and Aldris.
You go to ask Nara, and she's just not there.
Oh shit.
Everybody's looking around like, oh my god. First rider, now Nara?
Go ahead and roll me hack into the Mindscape. If you actually roll, not hack, but if you roll hack into the Mindscape, it should give you your +2 automatically. You can do it on the drop-down menu. There you go, see? So give you your
Nice.
3 and your 2. So 5 minus 2 is 3. So what we'll say this does is Georgiana and Aldris are going to need both these free invokes from Obscured. And with her hack, she's going to add 1 to it. So you guys use both, and then we get 1 more. So you guys are indeed still Obscured, but you only have 1 free invoke. Remember that you can spend fate points to poke this if you need to. Moving forward, you guys realize that it'll be probably smart to, try to hide a bit better. Your natural stealthing capabilities are still working quite well. You don't really see anyone noticing you or attacking you, striking out. We'll say Nara and Aldris, you guys do notice various scans that kind of like bloop over you, but you're able to basically stop them before they can ascertain any important information or your guys' location. If anything, you're scanned and you're not there, or you're scanned and seen as one of the workers here, so they pay you no mind. Up ahead, Ryder, you see first what seems to be a base that looks as if it's like submerged under this planet. You can tell it seems to look so like a hangar. There's no doors. It's completely open. The ships are either being repaired, upgraded, things of that variety. You can see some that were blown to pieces that are being reconfigured into something else. But it sinks down into the planet, and there's like a red glow coming from this little hull, if you will. And there's like red lights running along this thing.
I turn back to the group and I'm like, I think that's where we need to go.
Checking back with your scans, you can tell that this is indeed one of the locations that lit up.
How many guards do we see outside?
I'll say you see a fair amount as they are indeed attempting to obviously prevent entry. They're walking around like outside, a combination between both guards and workers. There's at least like 50 or so, plus their ships and such.
I'm just trying to think of how to get in since there's so many of them. Does that look like the only way in is the open hatch?
You do know the planet's constantly shifting, and whatever they're doing down there is indeed below you. This seems to be the easiest entrance, even though there's enemies everywhere.
If it's constantly shifting, does that mean that we could go somewhere and then get trapped?
Possibly. You're not entirely sure. From what you can tell, though, it seems that while it is indeed shifting, the planet tries to stay cohesive. So if someone's working somewhere or doing something, it won't be cut in half, or someone won't be cut off in a room. It's not shifting randomly. It's trying to fix itself, if anything.
I am not creeped out at all.
I am.
You didn't have the cube in mind when you designed this planet, did you, Hub?
It's a circle. It's a planet.
That's actually
doesn't matter.
A good comment. That was
no
quite
cube.
funny.
No cube
I
at
better
all.
not.
What do you mean?
Okay, now it's starting to sound a little suspicious.
No,
and
seriously, no cube. There's no cube. I promise there's no cube. You're not going to walk in a room and get cheese grated.
Look, I gotta tell you,
Why not?
I have to tell you, Cube traumatized me as a child. I still remember the
Same,
movie.
yes.
Both of you?
Same.
Yeah. Melanie, it traumatized you?
Yes.
Learning new things every day.
Really important question for Nara. Did Event Horizon traumatize you?
I don't even remember Event Horizon. There we
All
go.
So you don't remember the scene near the end where his eyeballs are like out of his face?
Why did you
Oh
have
my
to
God.
remind me about that? Why
Well,
did you have
that's
to do
it.
that?
That scene traumatized me.
Wait,
I had forgotten that.
did he have spikes in his eyes? Like what's like
no,
March?
it was
Okay.
they were empty sockets.
Oh, okay.
But they were super bloody and gory looking.
Yeah, well, I've seen pictures. Yeah.
I'm gonna gag.
I'm like, wait, Mistborn? No, never mind. So
It's not
no,
the cube.
it's not the cube. It's definitely not the cube. You guys are literally on a
It's
giant.
the sphere.
It's the sphere, which is definitely a movie, by the way, and also a book by Michael Crichton. I think his name is writer of Jurassic
Oh,
Park.
is it?
Yes, Michael Crichton.
Huh.
Crichton? I don't know his name.
I know who you mean.
Yeah.
Well, now I have to Google that.
That guy. He's a dinosaur. Holy shit.
Oh, 1998?
I don't know what the sphere is about. Probably not this. But yes, you're in a giant, I guess to rewind, the giant metal planet. It is a circle, not a cube. And this is a hangar that just goes under the planet, probably to conserve space.
I don't appreciate it.
I'm trying to let you know that you're not going to walk in here and get filleted. I mean, you
Alright,
probably
alright.
will, but it won't be like... It will be because you're attacked by robots, not because lasers come out of the
Oh,
walls and
alright.
like do that.
Just
Dude,
as a-
dodecahedron.
Yeah,
Just
it's-
as a quick update, the sphere, the plot is a spacecraft presumed to be of alien origin is discovered on the floor of the Pacific Ocean. So
Two-
just,
two creepy
not
things.
as cool as this.
Space and the deep ocean.
Well, it's very, if it's on the ocean floor, it's not as big as a planet.
No, definitely not.
But it is a psychological horror, so...
Oh,
no,
sign-
sorry, psychological thriller.
Okay, sign me up for either.
Apologies.
I love
Yeah.
psychological horror and thrillers. They're my favorite.
Let's go.
Let's go, bitches. Don't jump scare me. Ruin my mind. That's what I want. Anyway, that's the shit I'm into.
Perfect.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, make me contemplate existence. So yes, looking about, you guys can see this hangar. Ryder, to answer the question that I know you want to ask, it looks well defended, but they don't look very strong. There's a lot of them. Like Olin told you, they have numbers. Individually, they aren't that strong. Ape strong together. Like that.
Let's go.
Okay.
Even robots return to monkey.
Perfect.
Gotcha. I want to find a not forefront entrance because as much as I would love to just swing in there and kill everything, I feel like that's probably not the best option.
Can I get a layout?
Yes, we can say with a quick scan returned to you. Do you appreciate organization?
Probably yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
I
right.
do. I need it.
This base is very, very well organized. A quick scan
Oh, is
basically,
it?
yeah, a quick scan essentially returns to you that this hangar, as it kind of dips under the crust, if you will, of this planet, the rooms are like perfectly sized for perfectly sized boxes. The ceiling is perfectly sized to fit the workers in every various location. Some rooms are smaller than others, and the hallways are the exact size they need to be to move products from room to room. It is very symmetrical. So each room is like square, rectangle, and it's exactly the same on the left as it is on the right.
Is it so symmetrical as to be a little strange?
Under normal circumstances, yes. Under these circumstances, no.
Like under the circumstances that we're on a metal planet
Yes,
with robots?
very much so. As I
Okay.
said, there are no humans here, so imperfection just wouldn't be tolerated. These have to be the exact same size because they don't need to accommodate for various size and abilitied human or alien or anything. Everyone does the exact same thing, the exact same way, exactly as they should. So everything is one shape, one size fits all.
All right. Well,
Maybe slightly unsettling, but efficient, organized.
yeah, it sort of like it is designed for function and not aesthetics.
Correct. There's no aesthetic at all.
Okay.
She is 100, maybe 99% function and like 1% aesthetic because everything's got some aesthetic to it, even garbage.
I'm like, man, this guy needs a designer.
Yeah, his feng shui is awful. The garbage
All
aesthetic.
right.
That could definitely be a band.
So,
My favorite.
isn't there a band called Garbage?
Oh, there's definitely a band called Garbage, but I want the garbage aesthetic.
What was it that Ryder was looking for? Exactly.
A separate entrance, realistically, if y'all wanted to, I'm not saying blow a hole in the crust, but you could find, after you get your scan return, Nara, you could find a location that would be less than loud to break in that way, if that's where you guys want to go.
I mean, what's the point of all this stealth if we're just gonna, chop a hole into the side?
Ugh, Nara, I don't like stealthing, right?
Sometimes you just gotta get better at it. That's all.
Excuse me? Do I look like someone who can stealth?
Yeah, look, I'll give you a shadow pop or something. It'll be fine.
You know what? Done. I accept.
Actually, can I use Crafty Helper to give Georgiana
It'll be licorice flavored.
a boost or an assist to be more stealthy?
Oh, like a black licorice pop.
Yeah.
Ugh. That
Disgusting.
flavor. Oh, that flavor does not bode well with
Horrendous.
my mom loves it.
Well, we could also do like.
You can, by the way, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do that then.
All right, roll me that shit.
Only a 2. The licorice tastes especially bad.
Ugh.
That'll give her 1 free invoke.
That's fine.
In the name of blending in, if I have a sucker, I'll do it.
All right, so what is the plan? Are we going Unga Bunga? Are we stealthing? Are we, dropping by here? From what you guys can tell, this is basically just a hangar where they're making more things and...
Oh, we are stealthing.
So where
I
does
have a
Ryder
sucker.
want to go? Where does Ryder want to go? That's what I need to know.
The base.
Just like in the base, or are we trying to hit like a big room, or
I want to find Homeboy, but I don't want to, because we did, like you said, we did all stealthy. I don't want to do it for no reason. So
can I find a less trafficked area that we can go into?
I will say you guys can move in the appropriate fashion if you need to. It'll be stealth, of course. So you have the invoke shadowed. You have obscured. Aldris, would you like to assist in any way in this stealthing?
I mean, Aldris is a
Great.
whale bird. He's kind of colorful, just like me, right?
Are you a bird of paradise, Aldris? Be honest. Do your
Kind of,
people
I
have
guess.
mating dances?
Oh my god. What people?
Oh,
He's not wrong.
my heart!
That was so insensitive. I apologize.
Maybe Nara can bioengineer some new ones.
People or
I don't
hearts?
want
People.
them.
I can make little clones.
Yeah.
Please. No.
Want some clones? I guess you can't really have clones. Don't really broaden the gene pool.
The straight line.
Straight line. We all know what happens with that.
shout out to Wolverine.
What's that mean? You seen incest baby?
He's not an incest baby, but
He is a clone, though, right?
he
or
has
something.
no. He doesn't. He's not a clone, but he has clones. But he also has. Never mind.
Oh, he has.
Does he bang his clones?
No, but like
Then we're
He does
good.
now.
like
Suddenly, now I hate the line of questioning here.
You started this.
Not me. I don't like
he
it.
has, 11 kids, and some of them are clones.
Oh my god.
Confusing.
Dope. Awesome. Well, different timelines, you guys have as many kids as you want. You can also not be dead. Aldris, I will say, if you wish to use your magics, you can either use your magics or your hacking abilities to assist in the obscured feat, if you wish.
I can just make it foggy around us.
That
That's
too.
about all I can do.
For ease of access, we can add it to obscured because it is technically just obscured. Whichever stat you roll, we need to beat a 2, and then it'll be treated just like every other, create an aspect. Just because it's difficult, and there are 4 of you. All right, that looks like
Do it.
you succeeded with extra jumbus, meaning we get 2 free invokes to obscured. So Aldris helps surround you all in effectively like a shadow blanket, more than Georgiana currently has. Looking at all your scans and the map and all that extra good shit, Nara, you know a way where the 4 of you can kind of saunter on in unnoticed. Of course, I will ask for a stealth roll from all of you, and because we're just walking by all the enemies, it's going to be a 4.
All right.
Why do you do
Here
this to
we
me?
go.
I believe in you. We have 4 free invokes. Nara has a 3.
Damn.
Aldris has a 2.
I'm gonna need one of them.
Georgiana has a 1.
I use my
Damn.
invoke. Wait, am I going to use a fate point too?
Ryder has a 2.
You have
Okay.
to Use both of them.
All right. So we're gonna have to math this out because we only have.
Straight into the.
I know.
You guys you want to walk straight in, right? Right?
We wanted to walk in, yes,
Yeah.
in a way that was stealthy.
I didn't think we're going straight in.
Well,
I mean, how
I
else are
mean,
you
it's
gonna
a
get
not
in?
trafficked area.
Yeah. Well, so what I mean is you're going the least trafficked, least obvious, but you still have to walk by a shit ton of dudes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. So we'll slowly count this down to help. So we're going to use your shadowed. So give yourself a free +2.
Wait, what's the button for? Oh, there it is. Add 2 with free invoke.
All right, you're 3. Awesome.
Do I need to be a 4?
You need to be 4. So add 1 more because we have obscured.
Oh, I can use that?
You can use 1 of each. Correct.
Oh.
Yes, use that. All right, now you're at 5. Aldris, that'll bring you up to a 4 if you use obscured, and then Ryder, that'll bring you up to a 4. But okay, well, we're gonna since
That
Nara,
leaves me out in the open.
Right, okay,
How
since-
dare you guys leave
I-
me in the lurch?
so well,
I can use a fate point.
right, here's the decision we're making. Who wants to use the fate point to poke it? So Aldris uses a fate point to poke obscured because obscured does not go away. That is still true until someone attacks it. So he can use a fate point to paid invoke it, and the other free one can go to both Ryder and Nara. So Nara, you're at 5.
Beautiful.
Aldris is at 4. Georgiana's at 5, and Ryder, you're at exactly 4. So all of you pass.
Love it.
Thank God.
Look at that teamwork, though. Okay.
High fives all around.
Despite you guys just sauntering into the enemy base, you are somehow unseen.
I've never been this stealthy in my entire life. What do I do?
I put my hand over Georgiana's mouth. And I'm like, I whisper, first thing is to not talk. Honestly.
Oh no.
And then I gently move my hand away.
Looking about, you can see various automata hard at work, paying you all no mind.
I blow
You're in-
them all up.
I just win. You can see that they are busily working. This is the first sub-basement floor, and it seems this does indeed go down one more. As you guys move further in, it looks like the walls are less...
And our Mexicans fit down here?
Yes. Oh, yeah. They're the same size as you. This is a hangar for their mechs, and when I say mechs, they're literally just, automata that are your size, and also older ships. So they need to both work on them and also park them here. There's a whole hangar for them to just literally hang. There's hooks from the not hooks, but there's these metal pincers that kind of hang from the ceiling, and the little ships kind of just park themselves on top of that. So they are literally hanging from the ceiling as you guys look up. Less structured. There we go. The walls are less structured the more we move in here. Sub-basement 1 doesn't seem too interesting. Sub-basement 2, though, it seems they are still working on it, and this is possibly where a lot of the shifting of the planet comes from. You see some mechs and such down here, and near the back you can see one that sticks out from the rest. He's just standing next to a pile of what seems to be garbage. It looks as if he's issuing commands to others.
What does he look like?
It's approximately 8 feet tall, made of jagged metal. You can see various blue-green lines of light running through it.
I want to step on him.
Is that what we're going for?
You said 8 feet tall. I'm 60 feet tall.
Yeah, you guys are huge.
And he's just commanding stuff.
He seems to be issuing orders to various other robots around him.
I feel like stepping on him is a really good way to use your leg.
If I don't step on him, what else is there around here?
From what you can tell, it looks like they're just building down. You can see them stripping off various hunks of metal. You can see them pushing and folding and bending. It looks like they're just building to expand downward.
I step on him.
Okay. Roll me fight.
That's kick.
It's definitely kick, which sounds very fight to me. It's kick, but down. So there's a mechanic that we don't use. I forgot exactly what it's called, but it's effectively the same. It's effectively tier in Blades in the Dark, which is basically if something is better than you, you're going to have less or more effect. I believe that there's something similar to that in Fate, but basically what it means is, let's say you roll a +4 to shoot. That is effectively a +0 against a mech, and then a -2 against an enemy base. Because you're a dude with a gun. Your gun cannot hurt the enemy base. So, but in reverse, you're stepping on a small lad. I'm just going to roll +1. Of course. Doesn't matter. You still give squish. Okay.
Squeeze.
Big squish. So you just saunter on over and step on him? Do you say anything to your allies?
Not really. I mean, I can tell that he's giving orders, right?
Yeah, you don't have to say anything. I'm just wondering.
Hi, bye,
That very much works. You
Hit and run.
Yeah, you quickly smash down onto this android, and unsurprisingly, you're not like physically revealed. Whatever stealth you have around you, Ryder, is still functioning, but you do know, Nara, you know this first, that they are instantly aware of his position. But you do make for big crush on this small boy. We will say that's obviously one shift of damage, but because you have so much more oomph magumph to him, you're so many tiers above him, I'm not going to name it anything. I'm just going to give him a moderate consequence. So that's
I didn't kill it?
no, it's effectively 5 shifts of damage. As you go to step down, it either reacts or like moves out of the way somehow and isn't completely caught under your boot, but you do an absurd amount of damage to him in a single squishin.
Would he be
And-
like using his arms to try to like push my leg off of him?
He sort of did, but like if anything, one of his arms probably popped off in the process of trying to stop you just because there's literally too much weight. So while he was able to react, it was nowhere near fast enough. And he kind of careens off to the side, and you see him sort of slide against the metal and then look up at you, and he's just staring directly at your cockpit, Ryder. He's staring at where your like primary camera would be. And the three of you know you only have a moment until everything else reacts to you. Ryder, you can hear basically this base and everything around you like whirring into combat mode, effectively. Everyone that was like stripping metal off the walls just instantly drops it and turns, and they all look straight at you.
Not saying someone else should smush him, but
Are we just gonna take turns stepping on this thing?
before
so-
he alerts everything in
Sure.
seconds.
I will sub up and squish.
I
You're
just
gonna
thought it was 8 feet tall. I could stomp him. He'd be dead.
Georgiana, you're just going to step on him? I'm sorry that sounds threatening. I'm genuinely curious. You're just going to step on him. There we go.
Listen, they're tiny. What else?
Can I? No, I want to kick. I want to kick.
You want to kick him?
She's gonna punt him.
All right.
He didn't die. You kick.
Wow.
Is
He's
this a,
just like, he's so disoriented from me trying to step on him. He's like, what? And then Gigi comes in with a soccer kick.
all right. The big soccer kick it is. And this being made incredibly obvious. That's another 2 shifts of damage, plus 4 more shifts of damage. Once again, not going to name these. He has a moderate consequence and a severe consequence. You basically punt him into the wall, Georgiana, after Ryder attempts to step on him. He, once again, tries to stop you, but he only has one arm. You kick him so hard, he goes flying back into this big old pile of garbage, and it's like a wave of garbage. It goes to the right and to the left, and you just hear this big boom as the whole base basically kind of like shifts a little bit at this absolute unit of a kick. Nara, you know that your obscured status is going to go away soon. If you wish to attack or do something or buff the team in any way, shape, or form, you're more than welcome to do so. You can attempt to keep up obscured, but your sensors are telling you that they are stripping it down like right now.
I would like to.
Kick!
Also, and obviously, yes, there are many enemies that are currently looking at you and moving to attack you all.
Can I set up a.
You know, an EMP would be great in this place.
Why are people just saying the things that I'm already thinking? It's really rude.
Sorry.
I don't like it. I want to set up like a tripwire
Okay.
that will make it difficult for all the androids to get close to us without first passing.
Basically, like the door behind you up into the sub-basement floor 1, you want to put something there to kind of like, I don't know, either deactivate them or trip them up.
Yeah, I want to like cause them to either like temporarily shut down or short circuit or something. I just want to slow them down, basically.
That very much works. That is definitely your craft. I will say the general challenge of this is just 2.
Sorry.
That's fine. So you succeeded. You're good. I'll put subroom 1 here. Because you said it, we'll just call it tripwire. I know you only get 1 free invoke. I'm gonna give it 2 though.
Okay.
So basically, if any enemy comes through there, I'm gonna have them do like an overcome roll. Because there's so many of them, I'm not rolling for all like billion enemies here. I'm gonna roll for them as like groups, and they're basically just gonna get shit on collectively.
And we love to see it.
As you do that, the obscured feature that you guys have is basically stripped away. So all 4 of you are revealed. Mr. Aldris, do you do anything? You can hear various mechs coming down from the first floor down to the second floor, and all the ones in this floor have basically turned combat mode on and are currently going to rush the 4 of you.
So how many of the other ones are in this room?
We'll say there's about 8 in this room. Some are the same size as the android, and a good portion of them, we'll say 2 of them are your guys' size, and 6 of them are tiny.
Aldrich, you should punt him.
Oh my god. Why are we like this?
Actually, next we need one of those fists that pops out of your arm. You know, the joke one.
I'll stand over here and make a goal with my fingers in my mech, and then tell you to kick it over here.
I don't think my mech has like normal feet.
Just use your tiny feet and kick it.
I'm gonna.
Or you
trying
can
to
like you
He
could
probably has pretty big
you could
feet,
fly
actually.
over. You could fly over, grab him with your feet, and then drop him from high distance.
I'm just gonna make like hard light feet with magic, and then just run and kick it.
Are these like big Mickey Mouse shoes?
Pretty much,
All right.
you know, as you do.
As you do, of course. Okay, and you're aiming for the same android?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
go
we're
on.
just kicking this poor thing to death. So
Yeah,
you
we're
know, why not?
full bully mode. Go for it.
Full bully mode.
Full bully mode it is. Okay. Well, that is the
That's like-
remainder of all of his stress tracks.
So do
That's
we
like
know if
bully
that was
gang.
ball or not?
I mean, you're guessing that's the case. You're not entirely sure. You're hacky sacking him though. As your giant Mickey shoe just kind of goes, and just flies out and just like kicks the shit out of him. He is dragging himself like out of this metal, and he is just in pieces. One of his arm, like all of the metal's like stripped off of it, and it looks as if he like shoved a second one on. Like there's like plates of metal that are grafted onto him where the arm was ripped off from trying to catch Ryder's foot. But as he sort of gets out of this absolute shit creek, this giant toon foot just kind of. Are you punting him into Ryder's little like finger goals?
Yeah.
Okay. You do that, and he soars perfectly through the finger goals, and just kind of he crashes into you, Ryder. But you're pretty big, so his mass isn't anywhere near enough to actually like, knock you over or anything. But it does kind of make your mech, scoot back just a wee bit as he goes careening into you. And
No, I have the goal like above my head, so it goes,
above your head.
Yeah.
Okay. So he goes flying over your head, basically bounces off the wall, and he lands behind you, just in a heap of like bent and just gnarled metal. You see various sparks and such. He's twisting, one leg is like twisted backwards. The body's trying to like twist itself back into position to like fix itself, but it looks like he's not doing so hot in that sense. And you can feel the 4 of you are all hailed at once, and you
Wait,
actually
he's
don't
not
have
dead?
no, you don't really have a say in the matter. The 4 of you are just hailed, and all
I
that
thought
pops
that
up.
killed him.
No, effectively, it should have definitely killed him. But you are hailed, and all that pops up is a black screen with a
Turquoise?
very
Teal?
dark, yes, turquoise. Thank you. Very, very dark turquoise. And as he speaks, it forms the voice rhythm pattern, and it just says, "Hello."
Hi.
I, while this is happening, would like to tap into the source
Sure, yeah.
signal.
He is connected to you. You can connect back to him. Go ahead and roll me hack. Are we
I want to
boosting
give
Nara?
myself a fate point. Yeah.
All right, so that is
fate point to boost
7
to.
7 against 5. I'll ask you, this will take you a hot second, Nara, but then I'll ask you in a moment what precisely you're looking for.
Do you want me to do the fate point actions, the +2?
Yes, please.
Beautiful. And then we'll come back to this.
Yes, yeah, because it's basically while everyone's talking, you're hawking the planet, you're getting in there. All
Like,
right,
is the turquoise line moving like a voice module?
correct. May I ask what brings you here?
May I ask who this is?
I think you know who this is, Ryder.
Why does it sound like Teve?
It's not.
Oh, sorry.
It's
It
crackling a little bit.
It was almost
Yeah.
Steve.
It's crackling
worry.
slightly.
Don't worry. I've got your back.
Nara confirms it's not Teve.
I don't know, mystery voice. I mean, you clearly know who I am.
It just remains silent, but you feel as if you're being watched. All of the various androids around you, when I say put down arms, they looked as if they were going to rush. They just stopped and are just staring at you now, and their eyes are just glaring.
I'm going to assume this is Ball,
Correct.
and I'm going to assume you know I'm here.
I do know why you are here, Ryder.
Have you ever seen the movie Forrest Gump?
I do not believe I have.
Classic. You should watch it.
You know what they say? Life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you can. Sorry.
All right.
I have not seen the movie, but I am aware of the ancient wisdom.
Sorry, your voice pattern just kind of sounded like Forrest Gump there for a second. Well, where are you, Ball?
Looking to the back wall, it shudders for a moment as all the spare metal begins to shake and it snaps to the back wall as lightning arcs off the walls and arcs off all the spare metal and begins to kind of like slowly drag as you can hear the metal just pulling up the side of this wall, and you see a mouth formed, and everything is, it's very, very, very like is jagged and vague looking, but eventually a face is formed from all this torn up metal and says, I am here. I am everywhere.
That was flashy. I like
Well,
it.
isn't that flashy? What happened to your body form?
Do you mean the original, the one you just unceremoniously destroyed?
Oh, that was
wasn't
you?
us.
Was one of my cases, yes.
Was that the original one?
No.
Oh, good, because I was about to say, I mean, if that was the case, I would understand why you took the form that you're in right now, because that one's pretty weak.
Correct.
So, what brings you to, becoming a planet, Ball?
Operation Assimilation. I see the four of you have brought yourselves here to join us. I appreciate it.
What are you trying to simulate?
Life.
They're like the Borg. Oh my god.
This is the most redneck sounding robot I've ever heard in my life.
You don't talk about my people like that. I'm just kidding.
Well, Ball, since you clearly know why we're here, why don't we talk in your office?
You wish for negotiations now?
Am I in yet?
You are. After this point in the conversation, what are you looking for?
Well, first I want to see if I can get him on video.
There really isn't a him to get on video. While there are various cameras and such that are melded around, you try to do this, Nara, and your screen, where you'd normally be receiving a camera, starts flipping through every camera that they properly assimilated to this
Like
planet.
security. That's
Yeah, you
wild.
just start seeing, and they are so fast, you can just barely make out that was supposed to be a street, that was supposed to be a home, that was supposed to be a person. Holy shit, this is going fast. It's just like, it's just shooting through images like rapidly as you try to tap into this.
Well, then in that case, once the second I see it's not going to work, I redirect
Okay.
to basically get to any important files, like things, what the name of the group is, what they're doing, what they're, just all that kind of stuff. And I'm trying to download it.
The way this data is stored is very strange to you. If anything,
I will take anything that looks strange.
yeah, if anything, it's more like memories, and it's more like just a goal, just a list of goals.
To be honest, I find that incredibly interesting.
There's no company name. There's no trade. There's no in. Sorry, there's only in. There's no
under
out.
the goals, there's no in or out?
There's only in. There is no out.
Oh, that's so bizarre. I get all of it.
All right.
I don't even care what I'm looking at this point. I'm just taking whatever I can get.
It's very rudimentary rather than saying, yes, on this date we traded with this person, blah, blah, blah. It's more so acquired 1 frigate, 3 mechs, 4 this, 200 this, end line, and that's it.
In terms of the memory type things that you're talking about, can we figure out the source of the machines?
What do you mean source?
There had to have been something built to start with.
Yes, you're skimming through this quickly, and I will say you have a lot of information, but your brain can only take in so much so quickly. But you can very much tell that this was all started from what you can tell this robot, Ball 817.
There's no background information on Ball at all.
Interestingly, you kind of have the background information you need. Basically, it was just a rogue combat unit, but once it escaped, so obviously they were trying to be vague on what it is and what it was capable of and blah blah blah
Right.
blah. It was a test unit, But this one specifically escaped and will very much rubbed them the wrong way. They more so stressed. These people will normally ask for you to bring back whatever their product is. They more so want it dead than anything else. They want it destroyed. Everything is associated with destroyed.
I don't think we're charging enough money for this mission.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
And there was no
All right,
information brought
well-
back. People still, the person asking you, Judah Cart, thinks it's just a mech. He doesn't know
And
any of this.
clearly it's
The-
not.
Yeah, no information has left this sector in a very long time.
Start recording this whole conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm recording everything as
Okay.
well. Well, I'm downloading all the information. If Georgiana wants to record it physically, that's fine. But I am just going to be, putting all of this information in a little stash while Ryder is distracting him.
Well, if you want to, talk to me mech to man instead of, ginormous face to mech.
You wish to leave your mech and speak with me?
I mean, if you will, not be a ginormous face on a wall.
It just slides down. It just clambers to the floor. The sound echoes through the hall. A few of the metal pieces slapdash together, and the body that you punted 4 times is slowly dragged to this metal as it sort of fuses together, and the body kind of stands back up, and you can see it twitching a bit. It says, "This form will have to suffice for now."
I jump out of my mech.
He's looking up at you as you kind of float on down, and then whoop, just onto the metal in front of him. He's just staring at you, arms completely just flat, straight down.
So, Ball, what do you know about me? Since you know my name.
I am aware of some of your exploits in the data.
Well, that's great. So, what made you go from, the state your people made you to, owning your own planet?
Do you wish to assist with the objective, Ryder?
Well, I mean, I don't really know your objective per se. I just landed on your planet. Came by to check it out. I just wanted to see what you're working on over here. Didn't know you were a whole planet, the whole ego thing. But, I thought you maybe had a base somewhere.
This would function as one of my bases, if you will. I do not have a need for such a thing, though.
Yeah, so I mean, what's your objective, though, with the whole planet thing?
You won't be leaving, so I can share. The 4 of you should nourish us greatly. You can join the others. He turns and motions to everything behind him. He says, I built all of this. I had nothing after being forced to kill and kill and kill and kill. They attempted to take me out of
Is there one more
commission.
kill than that?
There could be. There's only one I'm interested in.
Who's that?
Judah Cart.
Is that guy that I talked to?
Judah Cart's the person that hired you guys to take out Ball.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So Judah, so you're trying to hunt Judah Cart.
Not trying. Buying my time to form an army.
Why do you need an army? I mean, I could kill him myself.
I want it to feel good.
You don't.
Are you saying you're trying to hire me to take out Judah Cart?
He tilts his head slightly to the side. You would do that?
I mean, you know who I am, and, I am the best at what I do.
You would break a bounty?
Listen, if you have the money to give me, I will do almost anything.
Money is meaningless to my kind.
About to say Ryder.
I want for one thing.
And that is...
Vengeance.
Stop assimilating and we'll do it.
He turns to look at you, Georgiana. The 4 of you will assist me in taking out him and his people.
If you guarantee you will stop your assimilating, overtaking, world dominating plans.
Tendencies, perhaps.
How can I trust you?
It's really either one of two things. Either, we take you out, or we take out Judah. So it's up to you to pick.
He also lied to us about this whole situation, so I wouldn't mind a little vengeance myself.
Interesting. No one has offered to help us before. How do I know you're not lying to me?
I mean, I could have taken out multiple of your men already. You know, if I was lying, and I could have just attacked you instead of talking to you.
Also, Mr.
Always
Ball,
about a good deal, so.
you are quite large, and what's his face is quite small. So, lesser evil.
I agree. He seems to be thinking and responds with, do you know his position? I can bring my people with you, and we can remove him.
My question is this. If we help you, what are you going to do for us?
You want money? You can take all of his money when he's dead. All of his belongings.
Well, that sounds gravy. I'm going to need one more thing from you. I need you to leave that planet down there alone.
Both of them, actually.
Yeah, both the planets.
This is acceptable. We have extracted all resources required from both.
Well, if we have a deal, we can go take out all Judah Boy.
It thinks again for a moment, and then he asks another time, you keep threatening to kill me and my people. How do I know I can trust you in this?
Well, I mean, I haven't threatened you.
Incorrect. You
Per
have at
se.
least 4 times.
Well, I mean, I'm saying I could have, but I'm saying I want to make a
Correct.
deal with you.
I could also strip you of your flesh right now and have chosen not to.
Mr. Ball, as long
Semantics,
as you
Ball.
cease assimilation actions, we will have no further reason to come after you. The only reason we're here is because you're causing trouble.
And also, we were paid to.
Understood.
If we get paid, whether we're taking him out or taking you out, I don't really care. But if it's vengeance you want, we can go get your vengeance. I can get my money, and then you can leave the plants alone. We all win in this situation.
Understood. If you direct me to him, we can resolve this quickly.
Nara,
Well, we don't need to bring your whole army along, because that's just going to give our whole thing away. He said either kill you, take you out, but he never said we couldn't bring it back, deactivated. So if you want your revenge, we could bring you along with us, just you, in a body, in this form, and then, you can see him in person and kill him yourself. How about that?
I could offer a more suitable, believable body, if that is all he wishes for.
Whatever floats your boat, buddy.
Understood. Nari, are you looking for anything else?
What was Georgiana saying?
do we have Judah's location?
Yes and no. You can probably find it, though.
Okay, so I was gonna whisper
Yeah, I
to
can
Nara
find it.
to find it.
Yeah, I'll start doing that.
All right, it realistically should not be too hard to find him. He's not necessarily trying to hide. He's fairly high
Yeah.
up there, but at the same time, he is going to eventually pay you guys. And, whatever he was messing with didn't work all that well, clearly, and he wants it gone, so...
Do we know why he wants revenge?
Oh, so like I was telling to you, Nara, you have access to various systems while he's speaking with Ryder. If you want, you can ask me a question, and I will let you know if it's in there or not.
Yeah, I want to know if there's a reason, what the reason is.
You
For
can
him to
basically gather...
He was used and abused, right?
Effectively, yes. So from what you can tell, Nara, he was very much used as a killing machine, and the various balls before him were used also as killing machines, but maybe not to their satisfaction. So they had him kill various races in various different ways to see how effective he was. Basically threw him into a single room arena, dumped in someone stronger, progressively stronger and stronger, effectively until they were satisfied with their results. The problem was
That's
you
kind of
can
messed up.
kind of messed up. The more messed up part is you can tell that one of the reasons why the other ones weren't really succeeding, at least this is what Ball is guessing, was primarily because, I'll put it this way, I know there's a lot of information really quickly, but we'll say you were kind of going over it. You could basically tell from every single iteration prior to this, it had a memory chip, and that memory chip was basically, okay, when combating this race, do this. When combating this race, do this. When combating this race, do this. So it remembered all of their movements, all of their everything, over and over and over, and it went, that one died, cool, new model, do it again, do it again, do it again. We're
So
now
he's kind of like Taskmaster.
sort of. Now we're on 817, and he remembers everything. The problem
That's a
is
problem.
they had to give him too much sentience from what you can see, Nara. The issue, the reason he wasn't succeeding is because he didn't have enough sentience. He couldn't really think for himself that much and I wouldn't say he didn't care for himself, but he didn't really attempt to, man, what the hell's the word? My brain isn't working right now. Self-preservation.
Yeah.
He didn't have enough self-preservation. He couldn't think for himself enough. So they gave him just enough to do both of those things, and it slowly spiraled out of control. You can tell from his earlier logs of like, okay, this race, they have 4 arms, but they're very weak if you can get behind them because they're kind of hunched over. Therefore, they cannot reach behind themselves quickly. Remove the spine, the enemy is dispatched next. And it keeps going and going and going and going until you start seeing opinions in some of these. Like, why is the enemy built this way? This one felt kind of unfair, things of that nature. Or maybe this one was kind of fun, or this one made me feel bad. You're getting emotions in some of these. And you get the feeling that he tried to maybe hide some of this. And the more and more they tested him, the more it didn't feel like a robot just submitting data, the more it felt like a person's diary.
Yeah, we need to get that other guy down.
So basically, from what you can gather, they forced this thing to kill and they gave it sentience so it can feel effectively.
That sounds not good. All right, well, I'm down with, bringing Ball to Judocar.
Seeing that the 4 of you agree, Nara and Aldris, something else you guys can tell is you are being watched, not just physically. Every type of sensor has been hitting you guys. It's checking your heartbeat. It's checking like everything. And it can tell you guys are telling the truth. You don't have an army in wait. You're not like, all right, cool. The second he does this, we're going to kill him. You can tell that he was poking at like your side channels, Nara. But because you guys weren't hiding anything, you were kind of like, all right, I'm hacking you. If I fight, they might think we're trying to fight back. You guys didn't really touch anything besides you kind of hacking what you're hacking. And because of that, they don't see you as a threat in the sense where, you're trying to hide something. So
Nice.
effectively,
I mean, I'm not really.
yeah. Effectively, no response. You're not sure how he feels about, you hacking in.
I mean, if he, decides to bring it up, it's just what I was made for.
Excellent. He
It's just
takes
who I am.
He takes a step towards you, Ryder, and he leans down a little and extends his right arm and says, I believe this is customary.
Yeah, I shake his hand back and I'm like, so you're in agreement, just you coming on our ship and going to take out homeboy?
He nods.
All right, well, sounds good. And I shake his hand.
All right. As you shake his hand, you can see the metal contort on his face into the facsimile of a smile. And he lets go of your hand, turns about, and says, meet me, as he pauses, where you parked your ship. I will see you there momentarily.
Okay.
All right, away we go.
And just as you hop back into your mech and begin to head back to where the Kabuto is, the body he was inhabiting just like crumbles and falls to pieces. All the metal just clatters to the floor.
Whoa.
As you begin to fly back to the planet, rather than no one seeing you, instead you see the opposite. Literally every single mech here is staring directly at you guys as you slowly kind of move on back. They
Alrighty then.
aren't
Are
aggressive.
they extensions of him or new individual AIs?
They all have the same like blue light coursing through them.
So then, assumably as extensions.
That would make the most sense, yeah. Part of what you saw in there, Nara, was that rather than, having a body, rather than, any of that, he has effectively multiple, which is why you guys are able to kick this one around. It kind of didn't really pay you any mind. He can just hop into a new one if he needs to, so.
All right.
And you guys return back to the Kabuto. It's just chilling. Next to it, you see a figure that is approximately 8 feet tall, and it is made of much more sleek metal. You can tell that this is probably one of his higher quality bodies, and it's standing completely rigid next to the on-ramp to the Kabuto.
Sure, come on in. But the Kabuto is off limits for assimilation. Just FYI. Well, reminder.
All right. It does not respond, turns, and follows the 4 of you up into the Kabuto.
All right, I'll head to the pilot seat and Ara, coordinates.
So Ball
And
for
send them.
or for our safety, I would like if you would be in our holding room.
That is acceptable. And Ball heads very slowly down to your holding room. and he says, "You wanted me to release someone before we go?"
He didn't have anybody held hostage, did he?
Other people we made a deal with.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
part of the deal. Yeah.
I mean,
I thought we were gonna take them with us essentially somewhere else because
That's
don't
what
they
they
have
request.
no way to get off? Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, they have no way to get off.
yeah, I guess we'll go fly over and grab him.
You guys fly down to the pretty gnarly looking planet, but all of the ships that were flying around it have basically all returned to the central ball, the really, really, really large metal planet. They all kind of nestled themselves into the various hangars, and they all kind of flew back to every satellite that was like floating around them. You can tell that the trajectory of these planets hasn't ceased, so they're still spinning just perfectly. From what you can tell, Nara, nothing has sped up, nothing's really slowed down, everything's still functioning just fine, so they shouldn't bump into each other. You guys are able to land, and as you hail this team that's down here, they very happily rush on over to the Kabuto, and you lit all 4 of them on.
Yeah.
I realize I'm phrasing things that sound like, what do you mean we lit all 4 on? Yes, they're fine. No one turns into a monster and rips your face off, I swear.
Excellent.
Yes,
Not
I
yet.
would. Not yet. Yes, I would. I'd give a little more preamble than just, oh, hey, guess what? You're infected. No. Moving on though, they all thank you. Olin specifically, Ryder, with their group is, I mentioned Olin. He looks to be about in his 50s, 60s. The person you were speaking with initially seemed to be a youngish girl. She was in her 20s. She's a very dirty, and they all look incredibly dirty, honestly. Their clothes are torn. Their skin, there's not really a way to clean yourselves there.
Olin, what did I say?
He smirks and kind of slaps you on the back and says, thank you. I knew you'd come back for us.
Indeed.
He smirks like, I'll pay you, don't you worry. Just get me somewhere I can pay you. And the other 2 seem to be a man in his 30s, and then another woman about in her they're like mid 30s, 40s.
I would like Liam to take them to the bathhouse.
As you guys are headed back to this individual, Liam is able to basically get everybody washed up. You guys have some spare clothes, so you're seemingly getting everyone helped, and they seem incredibly happy. They cannot help but thank you anymore. You know, living on this planet with no clean water and all these creatures running around, you have no idea how long they survived there or how they even survived at all. Your sensors that came back, Nara, said this place is barely habitable by the creatures that live there. You also noticed they didn't have spacesuits, so they're probably sick in some
strange.
way. Yeah, they're probably there's something wrong with them.
I wanted to have the Kabuto do some medical scans.
Yes. So after that, they'll head to the medical wing after Liam gives them a good bath, get everyone cleaned up, and then swing by the medical wing to basically see what we can do so that they don't, just kind of fall apart. And we will pause here while we're heading back to Mr. Judah Cart with Ball.
Hold on, I want to do something real quick.
Sure.
I'm going to go to my captain's quarters, and I'm going to call Nara in.
Sup?
We need to have a little chat while we're headed over there. And the door shuts behind you. And I'm like, Kabuto, activate dampers real quick. So it's gonna damp no feed, technical feeds can get through this room. It's very secure.
Of course, Ryder.
When we get the judo car, I need you to be on the highest alert with Ball because
Judicarte.
Yeah, Judicarte.
I was like, I know that's not quite
Pretty much
right, but
at
it's
a
close
moment's
enough.
notice, we might have to take down Ball. Not saying he's good or bad. We just don't know what's going to happen.
Prepare for all possibilities.
So just prepare to hack the heck out of his mind so we can, I don't know how strong he is, be it that we did not actually fight him. So if he does go crazy because he is a killing machine, we need to be at haste at a moment's notice.
I'll be on the lookout. Yeah, I can do that.
I just don't want.
Feels a little wrong.
Well, I'm not saying we're gonna kill him if we don't need to. I don't know if he's gonna attack us if anything happens. Yeah, just put some dampeners up so he can't, potentially hear us. I don't know how smart his cyber brain is. All right, well,
Can do.
At ease, you can go back to what you're doing.
At ease? What's my rank?
I don't know. I tell Kabuto to lower all the stuff.
Sounds good.
The dampeners are downed. The Kabuto does as instructed. You know that Ball is just standing completely rigid in his cell and waiting and waiting and waiting. As I'm just gonna keep saying the 4 of you, regardless how many members you end up getting.
I assume there's a window in in the cell, right?
Of course, yeah.
I'll open it up so we can look out.
Porthole to like space, or to the room.
To,
That he's in.
to look out, a view hole.
Yeah,
Is
I mean,
he interested in that?
you're not sure if he's interested in it.
I
Might as well
mean,
have it available.
Yeah, I'll offer it up.
Okay. He doesn't seem to respond or thank you, but you go ahead and do that for him. He's just standing there rigid and waiting. And we'll go ahead and pause there as you guys are on your way to Judicart.